Howdy, folks. J3 Puffin, back at it again with Gadget
Hey, I don't have a funny intro this time.
and Blank.
Hey,
The lack of one is just as funny as having one. We're here with the red part of the Hololive No Patience pile of cards that claims to be a deck. Starting with Advent cards. Behold, Feral Fuzz, Mokoko Abyssguard. If you have a copy of her sister in your center stage, the Feisty Fluff Fuabon Abyssguard, this card gets 5,000 power and +1 soul. And when this card is placed on the stage from your hand, choose up to 2 copies of Twin Trouble Fuamoko Abyssguard in your waiting room, put them at the bottom of your deck in any order. We need to get all 3 of these as a package. Which one of you would
Did
like to
you
read the one?
did you change this from yesterday?
No, this is the same text as it's had the whole time.
I could have sworn this said plus 3,000 power and a soul.
No.
no, it just is.
Yeah, alright. Here, I'll just keep going. So we got Feisty Fluff Flower Abyssguard. She's a 1-1 with 1,500 power. If you have a Feral Fuzz Mokoku Abyssguard in your center stage, and all of your characters are VTuber, this card gets plus 5,500 power, +1 soul, and all of your other VTuber characters get plus 500 power. Another character that should have Hololive where those are, but it's fine. Continuous. If you have 3 or more other characters, this card gets the following ability, and that ability is the ability to fuse herself and the Feral Fuzz Mokoku Abyssguard into Twin Trouble Fomoko Abyssguard. And that card is a 2-2 with
Okay.
3,000 power that says if there's a marker underneath this card gets 8,000 power and +1 soul. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand or by fusion, you can ditch a VTuber character, which again should be VTuber or Hololive. Pay the cost, choose a Twin Trouble Fuamoka Abyssguard in your waiting room, put it on any position of your center stage, choose up to 1 copy of this card name on your stage, choose up to 1 marker underneath this card, and put it face up underneath that card as a marker. So basically, the card that has 2 markers under it splits off one of its markers to the copy that spawns.
Oh god.
And then climax combo, when it attacks, if the door is in your climax area, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 2 VTuber Hololive characters from among them, reveal it to opponent, put them in your hand.
Alright,
Okay.
let's
So,
Alright, so
uh,
I listen, we went straight into this, but I have to pull the curtain back a little bit. We've had a whole 48 hours to absorb all the yellow and green that we've seen already. And just a reminder to the audience, we're looking at Hololive cards. These are hypothetically Hololive cards. Alright? So let's just bear that in
this
mind for a
is
second. Blank, take it away.
no. Okay. So, do you guys know about Alice Gear?
No.
Because
Honest
Alice
mistake.
Gear has the ability to fuse a level 0 and a 2/2 to summon 2 level 3s at level 1.
Hmm.
And then this card is summoning 2 level 2s at level 0, potentially. Now, Bao Bao being on a door,
Yeah,
It's
that's my mistake. That it should
it's
have
like
a level
something,
2 or
that's
higher
fine.
condition on it for the fusion. But yeah, the
But as printed, like, I would just play these Fuamokos down, just boom, 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 slam a standby, and I have 6Ks that are definitely not dying and caving my opponent's skull in, and then I fuse into these 2/2s at 0 if I still cancel, or just at 1, and
yeah,
then we ignore the Bao Bao combo entirely because we are playing 8 standby probably.
God.
that's fair.
See, you remember this is exactly the kind of shit that I need you here for, blank, because I was on a Pikmin set review and I was like, damn, there's this thing that summons a level 2 at level 1 by sacking a character. It doesn't seem too bad. It's just an 8/5 beater, and then at level 3 you can play this level 3 guy that lets you sack the beater to get 2/2s with a finishing combo, kind of like Ramlethal, right? And then JP just drops on me, yeah, you could stand by that card that gets the Bulbman and get him level 0, right? And I was like, huh? Like we're literally we're literally talking about it again.
Except
Like,
it's
you can
worse.
get you can get
Because
two 11Ks at level 0.
two
Like, cool.
11K two
You don't get to
souls.
you don't get to full board 8/5s, but you get to get 2 lanes of 11K at level 0. Yeah, that's arguably better. Sure.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay, listen, we need to go over this because I have thoughts. The cats in Azure Lane cap out at like 35 and +1 soul, and they're 500 power, right? So like already the Mokoko is like way over spec'd. I would like, just as a 0 that's playable. Again, if you're playing 8 standby, you can just get the Fuwawa. So like this is already an S plus just on the stat line. And you can incidentally on play shuffle back 2 of the Fuwawa so that you, or the Fuwamoko. This, hold on, does this fuse from deck?
it's a fusion card, yeah. It's normal
Yeah,
fusion
so
mixed
so you
into
It's
also
it.
from
on play
deck, but
so you also incidentally get to put your fuse target back. Okay, that's fine. So that's a fucking no for me. Because you've just printed Azure Lane, but with extra steps. Okay, that's no fun. This card at level 1 is a 1 cost, sure, but you can stand by it in. It also inherently gets +1 soul and sits big, so one of these is going to be 5. One of these is going to be 7K. The other one's going to be 6/5, and they're both 2 souls, potentially at level 0. Honestly, like the
That's the thing, and if it's
the Fuwawa is a bit less egregious. Like I would call this probably like a B or plus or an A. But like because you can potentially stand by it and get the plus lane at 0, like that's gonna push it. You know, maybe it's an A. I don't know. I think this card's like a sure. Like if this card was like bonding to a 3K, like it would probably be fine. But then you have this thing, and like because actually, you know what? No, hold on. This also needs to be an S. I forgot because then you're fusing at level 0.
yep.
Like what? Why is there no level 1 or higher condition on this?
Because I forgot. I needed one,
If you have
but
3 or
I
more
just
other
didn't put it
characters,
down.
yeah.
Because like I just didn't think about it. My brain was not thinking like, oh yeah, you'd put this in something standby. Except I think I did try it at some point, but like the mathing out the ratios
Okay,
or
and
something.
then so the door combo summons another one of these. No, when this card's played, you play
it
another one,
summons it from waiting room. Yeah.
and they both have a marker. Yeah. Okay. So then, so sure, this probably should be level 1 or higher. Even if it was level 1 or higher, I'd give it like a B plus or an A. But as written, it's an S for sure.
Yeah, I think
Like it's B plus
I could just make
S.
her a level 2. Probably just
This
make her a
fucking
normal
card,
fusion target. The form the
I
flower.
think this.
Yeah.
I think the Fuamoko is actually busted.
Oh yeah.
Like you get the second one for free, and you get it to have a marker for free, and you get to go +4 off the top for playing the game. Like at least the Weiss and Ruby, like you get to you can give the character the thing, and then it gets the on reverse look at 2 twice. Like this is just freely do it. And like yeah, they're 2 costs, but you can early play them in, you can stand by them in. Like I don't know. I think
So
this is
my
like
thing is like, even if this has a level 1 condition on it, right? The other thing is like, normally you can stand by in 2/2s, and that's like, okay, that's fine, sure. The fact that you get 2/2s out on your first level 1 turn and can attack with both of them, because like the whole point of standby is it comes in rested, right?
Mm.
But like that doesn't matter with this fusion thing.
Nope. Fusion bypasses that.
So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like fusion bypasses the rest part because you just stand by the 1/1 out at 0. Not to mention, like, you're in a set like Hololive that has so many tools to like get this shit into waiting room
that was gonna
early to like
be
make this as consistent as possible. Like
that was
Yeah.
gonna be my
you've got
next
Raine to ditch
yeah.
targets.
So
Like I think you're right, Blank.
oh
Hey,
yeah.
look, you could just not even play this door. You could play all of this shit at 0, right?
And it's
You have
standby.
the Raine Rico to get it all if you need it and recur it, and then you could just play the Oski standby combo as your plussing thing at 0 to get extra copies of your Fuwawa.
Because like 8 Standby Hololive already like plays 2 advantage combos. Like they don't need to worry
Yeah.
about this door.
I'm
This
just trying to
doesn't
think
matter.
what deck is gonna. This is gonna potentially break something wide open, but like, what Hololive deck needs this? Like, nothing really needs it. But then, what deck incidentally becomes broken? Because Rushia could play this. because this is something you can do early game, and that
Yep.
helps you build stock. So when you're ready to play Rooster, you can play that.
Yeah, 'cause it's just super efficient. Yeah.
Marine can play this because it's all red. So any deck that's like literally here's a funny thing. You know Kanata Marine, that deck that was really good in set one. Yeah, these cards are all red. That plays into Kanata Marine. Kanata Marine's not playing level one combo. This can be something you're doing at level 0 and level 1. And hey, it just happens to incidentally have a plusing door combo on it too.
Flamoka
That's
Marine.
pretty cool.
Flamoka Marine
Jesus
is
I mean,
Christ.
yeah,
on
you
flavor.
I glanced at these cards yesterday and I was like, oh, these all seem fine. It's a fusion card. How bad could it be?
Oh yeah.
Like,
No, it is. It is as pushed as a fusion can be.
so,
if this was at least like
so
correct and like you had to be level 1 or higher, even then you're pushing 211k with 2
Too
soul out
slow.
at level 1.
if you put this
That's
in
not like
Kanata Marine, like you can still play this as a plussing thing early and ignore the door.
Mm-hmm.
You just play the
this is
1/1 raw
yes.
and
This
like
is this is
fuse together, and you
this
have
is
two
two
2/2s on
yeah,
the wheel.
this is 2 lanes of Kishibe with a plussing trigger attached to it effectively. You know
And
what?
no
That's getting to
downside,
the
you can
S.
play backups with this card. You can
Yeah,
play
it's getting to
backups
the
with
S
this
for
card.
sure.
You can't play backups with Kishibe. I
Yeah.
I might
And
agree
you
with
know what?
you. Like the whole
You know what
package is
else?
fucking nuts.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what else is like in Kanatamarine, right? Damn, you need that third lane so you can clock your Miko over and over and over, right? Okay, cool. But you only need 2 lanes for this. That third lane can incidentally be your Miko lane. So whenever you need to go to level 2, yeah, now you can just clock yourself repeatedly to level 2. Like these lanes aren't gonna die. Like you just sit on them until like you honestly might not even need to clock yourself level 2. Like the whole point of it is that you get triple Kanata out and you just
Mm-hmm.
start building stock with it, sure, but maybe if you have this you can just sit on this until you're ready to triple Kanata and then overplay them. Like this is a legitimate strategy. Instead of compressing to stock you can just play the door, compress to hand incidentally.
Yeah, you can
And
just
like
play
you
eight door.
Yeah.
well, no, you might not even play 4 door. You're still playing 4 stock soul, so you can do Kanata at level 2. But you might just play like 1 or 2 of this door and incidentally do it whenever it's convenient. You
Like,
know, like
here's the thing. Like, why would you even do the Kanata thing at that point, right? Because that's an extra
just
like.
build stock.
But that's another shit ton of deck slots you're having to dedicate because you're also having to dedicate to the at least to the deck slot part of the Flomoko package. Why not just
Yeah,
say
but you don't need to do any of that shit. You could just play 4 of this level 0 and 4 of the 1/1, and then that's all you're doing.
not even the two
So
And
so
if
twos?
you
Kanata
all
also has a 4 more condition. You don't need to overplay anything. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
you
you
can
can
just
just
pull this
let this
activation.
live, and it could just be a card on board. And not only do you compress with Kanata, because like the whole point is that you just rip a bunch of cards out of your discard pile. This card has markers, so
Mm-hmm.
you get extra compression out of that, as well as
Yeah.
fulfilling your board condition, as well as synergizing with the fact that Kanata plays like 7 backups in their deck.
Yeah,
Dear
like
God.
think about this too, right? You think this is like deck slots, right? And like it's actually an investment to play this card. But think of it this way: say the Fuawa is worded correctly, and you're still doing this at level 1, right? So level 1, you do the fusion, you get one of these out, and you get the other one for free. So you've got 2 11k swings, right? That means that for the rest of level 0 to 2, that's going to be 2 lanes that your opponent cannot clear unless they're playing a very special, specific level 2 killing card that most decks, let's be real, are not going to be playing.
Or have
So
like a
that's
level
two.
one early play killer backup.
So that's 2 lanes your opponent's losing every turn. Every turn in White Shorts, you are going to draw 1 for turn, clock yourself, and draw 2. So you go +2 every turn, and then you are playing those 2 characters down just to have them swing into this. Now, sure, you're going to be dealing 1 to 2 damage with those guys, but every turn that this lives, that's 2 cards you're effectively losing. Because if you're losing that third lane, now you're going -1 on advantage every turn. Or like that's a card that you can't play. Or if you have to brainstorm, that's getting you closer to your next refresh point. If you have to Ricky yourself to get the plus back, that's 1 more damage you end up taking. So over the course of the game, you're either going to clock yourself out of the game because you can't kill this card, or you're gonna go down to like 5, 4, 3, 2 cards in hand until you can't field a board anymore. And once your opponent hits level 2, okay, bam. Now they have 3 Kanatas. They're all sitting anywhere between 10 and 14k, depending on what assists they have, and you're still going to be crashing. Like, the way that you lose to Kanata is you don't lose the damage race, you lose the hand advantage race until the point that you can't field cards to kill them, and then your opponent just triple Marines you and you die. And
Gotcha.
this lets you do that a level earlier. That's why this card's busted. Like, it's not because it burns 3 or has some floodgate effect, it's because this card makes your opponent lose the advantage game, and there's literally no investment to playing it. You just have to find the level 1 fusion target. That's it. I think
Gotcha.
in any other deck, this might be a strategy you could balance and play to, but in Hololive, absolutely fucking not. Sorry.
And I'll tell you what, it doesn't even have to be as good as Hololive. Two separate notes to make on this card. One, people were joking in the Discord, not even the custom set Discord part, about Flamoko being cats. And so when I sat down to do this, I was like, it'd be funny. What if I did cats, but it wasn't actually cats? What if it had like a spin on it? And then I immediately moved to, well, it's got to be a fusion. Because obviously it's Flamoko. They're two symbiotic beings, like, codependency and whatnot. So obviously they've got to do a fusion thing. And then, like messing around with math and some other stuff, we ended up here. And then I started playtesting this. I was like, holy shit, this card's ridiculous. And I left it as is for the sake of like reviewing purposes and stuff. And I haven't like gone back and changed anywhere in the set because I wasn't entirely sure where to start trimming things off if I was even going to. So Yeah, no, it is definitely cats. At some level, it's cats. But I then took this idea, right? Process I went through, like was that you fused it, and then you had to pay some cost. I don't even think it was pitch tray. I think it might have been like one pitch a card or something to summon the second copy of the fusion card. And I started messing around with that as like a thing to do for like a finisher in a set. And I had to walk it the fuck back to like like not even like
Cool.
barely even a finisher
Now
card.
it's a card that just lets you go +2 every time you play its combo.
Yeah, because that plusing advantage is just fucking insane. So like, I love how like flavorful this setup is because this is Flamoko in a nutshell. But at the same time, it's way overtuned in a respect. Like not like math wise. I was careful about that. Just like overtuned as far as what the card abilities sitting on it get to do.
Going back to Alice Gear, they can spit out 2 of these level 3 pieces of shit, and they have like on attack burn 1 and on attack heal 1. Like as a static effect. Like it's not a climax combo.
Yeah.
It's on attack pay 1, either burn 1 or heal 1. And like this card is not quite as strong, but the fact that you can do it at 0 instead of 1 is insane.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to note is these cards are actually weak to blink because they lose like almost all their power.
Exactly.
However, it's not run all the time, and sometimes like not at all.
Yeah, there's a bunch
It's
of
usually only
some
run when
don't
it's
even get it.
incidental. Yeah, it's usually only run when it's incidental to whatever the deck is already doing. Like
Yeah.
Mashoku plays Blink because it's on their climax salvage. Like, okay, wow, cool,
Yeah, this kind of this would be interesting to run into against Scooby Doo and just have like, oh yeah, well the blink says your 2/2 is now just a 3K, so have fun with that.
It gives me an excuse to put the Chloe Summer Collection card in my deck because it just has blink on it.
Because Hololive.
I think it's like a drop salvage or something. It's like fine, but it has blink on it, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Meta relevant.
It has Chloe on it. That's the important part.
Fair. All right. So.
Oh my God. What a way to freaking start this off.
Yeah, and then I will say
I read these things and I'm like, I hate this.
This is the thing I knew.
They all have 2 soul. They all attack with 2 soul.
All right, moving on. So this is Forging Ahead Kayla Kowalskia.
Kayla!
She has assist 500 for Hololive or VTuber characters in front of her. She says, all your backseat Kayla Kowalska gain 1k power. I'm assuming that's the level 1 combo here.
That is.
And then auto, you can ditch a VTuber / Hololive character from hand to waiting room. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can search your deck for this, reveal its opponent, put it to hand shuffle. I'm just gonna check this card. Okay, so there's no card text combination with the other one. It just blatantly gets it 1,000 bigger, and it bonds to it from deck technically. So I think this card's. I mean, I've been talking about this in a lot of your videos, right? Like, normally I would say this is absolutely broken, but like the Bushiroad's been a lot more willing to print like ditch traded character, search specifically named character from deck.
Oh yeah.
Like we saw it in Azure Lane, we've seen it in a couple other sets. So like it's really gonna come down to how good this level 1 is. And I'm gonna just take a second to rate this before I move on. Do you guys have any thoughts?
I think I like the Dragon Maid version of this better. Like, yeah, the Dragon Maid one's a level 1, but it searches the Kana, and then, like, you can rest. I think it's rest it and give it a soul or something. Like, that card was cool. It's just red was, like, really scuffed, as almost every Neg-Soul color seems to be in sets that I buy into. Because it's like, man, I want to play this early game stuff, because this early game stuff's cool, but then it has Neg-Soul at the top, so, like, what do I fill out the rest of my slots with? Anyway, I really enjoy like these auxiliary cards that buff your
that's
thing.
what you're talking about. Okay. You know, this card I think is worse than Kanata though, because at least Kanata you can trade it for a better card later. I don't think the card's bad. I just think it's not better than a B minus. It's a card you can play like 1 or 2 of.
Yeah,
If you're
I
playing
don't think
Kyla combo,
you'd
you're
play
absolutely
a ton of it.
Yeah, if you're playing Kyla combo, you're playing some number of this, just because it's.
I read the first 2 lines on Kayla and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
this card is very
go ahead and read this
synergistic.
one now. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So this is the backseat Kayla Kowalskia. During this card's battle, all players can't use backups. Oh, okay. So during this card's battle, all players can't use backups. When this card becomes reversed, neither player can use Encore until end of return, including pay 3 Encore.
Just you.
Okay, so when this is done, it's done.
Yep.
I see.
It's just you.
Okay.
It's not.
Oh, this is a card with 2 downsides.
The top one's neutral.
Yeah, the first one's a neutrality.
Yeah. The backup's all players, but then you can't Encore as you.
Okay, so it's got 1 downside and 1 neutral line of text on it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when this card attacks, if you have always on the grind, which is this, it's a red stock soul.
Red
stock soul for red characters. On attack, you can choose a VTube or a Hololive character in winning and return it to hand, or put it into your stock. And if you put it into your stock, this card gets 2,000. What? It's 2,000.
It's the Asuna 10th anniversary combo.
That one have a field condition? I thought that one had a field condition. Doesn't Bochi's have a field condition? Am I like messing this up entirely?
I'm pretty sure I copy pasted these texts.
I don't think Bochi's does. Let me double check this.
Okay.
Actually,
I might just be forgetting entirely, which is perfectly fine.
So this combo costs 1k, which is why it has the downside to put it back at 5k. In a lane where you have that level 0 in the back, and you choose to take this stock, this gets up to like 9.5.
I mean, like, why would you play this? Why would you play this over the Ayame Maguro?
To play Kyla.
Why would you play this over Chloe?
To play Kyla.
Is there a reason you chose this to be a red stock soul, unlike the other Hololive stock souls that are like level 1 or lower card, I think?
To be different. I thought that it fit.
I mean, it is different.
I haven't looked a ton into Kyla, but she's a penguin, so she's based, so B for based.
She's great.
Listen, I play Chloe at regionals, so I'm never gonna get off that. And also, like, hypothetically, in the hypothetical universe where these are real cards, you also just printed the Laplace memory thing, which makes the Chloe infinitely more playable.
Yep.
So, like, sorry, that's what I'm playing. It's fine that you can play 8 stock soul now. I think that's cool. And incidentally, you've also printed that other card that when you mill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like. Okay, you know what? Holy shit, you're right. I keep forgetting that Luna's on the stock soul.
That's the reason that card works as well as it does.
I mean, this is arguably better than that card because you can at least you don't have to ditch anything up front.
It's different.
You know what you could also do is you could compress 4 clean stock with this combo.
Mm-hmm. You could.
Dang. You know what? Actually, you know what? Hold on. This is giving me Levi vibes. You know how much I love Levi.
I want to give
Levi's
plus for based.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to upgrade my score because I am a big fan of Levi. I'm gonna give it a straight B because I think this sits smaller than Levi because they're only getting 1K from your back row card, but you do get to compress 4 clean stock with this,
Hmm.
which is definitely stock compression in Hololive is not something they usually get.
Not a lot. Sort of.
I mean, there's Mel, but this is
I
like
mean,
you choose whatever character you want and it goes there.
I
You
choose
know,
the
like
character. Yeah.
I choose the power.
me and Gadget have had plenty of waifu battles playing very scuffed versions of waifu
Oh yeah.
stuff, and that Levi combo is like, on paper, it's like, okay, sure, whatever. When you're playing a limited format like waifu can be sometime, it's like,
Oh yeah.
maybe this card's real. And then this card can swing at like actual power lines
Oh yeah.
versus actual cards. It's like, wait a minute, that's like pretty sick.
Yeah. This card's a
I mean,
level
it
2
basically
killer.
is
That's very
Levi.
interesting.
You have your back row card that gives your specifically all your other Kylos 1K, kind of like the Irwin does, and then also it has assist 500. So 2 of your Kylos are going to be plus 15.
Hmm.
They sit at 6-5 cross turn. The Levi's sit at 5-5, but one of them is 7-5. So instead of having 5-5, 7-5, 5-5, you have 6-5, 6-5, 6K, I guess.
6K.
The powers spread out more, and she's always going to win her lane since your opponent can't back up over her. Now you also can't back up over her, but like if you lose the lane, whatever, you just play, I don't know, Mel's or something, or if you're in level 2, you just play Suisei. The point is you're getting that clean stock, and then you're just sitting on it, like you're not doing anything with it. It's just going to be compression for you. And I guess if you get stock swapped, oh well, but like that's the point of cards like this is that they're compression.
Ultimately,
Penguin.
this card is about the power level that I would like this set. If I was going to make this an actual set, this level of like, this card is playable. It would definitely have options, but it's not. It doesn't become like the only thing you would ever want to do in the world. Unlike other parts of the set where that very much is the vibe. So this card is like the target, I think.
I think this is a very good like balance
Yeah.
balance card.
So,
Like it's unique too is the other thing. It's like it's unique while still remaining like strong enough to be considered,
Yeah.
but not like oppressive.
yeah. That's definitely the goal. If you're gonna support a thing as massive as like Hellolive, or if someone wanted to, like, I don't know, make more Bang Dream cards or something, this is about where they'd have to be, right? Like, different but not broken.
Yeah.
Speaking of different but not broken, maybe not even different.
This is Oski. Guess Oski specifically. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you look at the top 2 cards in your deck, put them on top in any order, and when this card is placed, you reveal top card of your deck. If it's an event or a VTuber or Hololive character, put it in your hand, and then discard one.
Yes.
So this card
Or-
is exactly the Hina from Bang Dream, right?
I don't know.
I think this card's been printed a few times actually.
Yeah, if it has been,
I don't know
I didn't notice it.
if these normally hit on events, but this is a thing that
They'll
exists. I think.
usually hit on specific events.
Yeah, this is top 2 rearrange plus the the Valentine Choco version of this effect.
The Hina is on play. You can look at top and either leave it there or send it to waiting room, and then on play reveal top. If it's the picture perfect event or a anniversary or passed out palettes character, add to hand and ditch one.
And
That
that's
card's 1500. This is 1K because top 2 rearrange costs more than look at top and put it to one. Like,
interesting.
it's boring. I'm pretty sure they've printed cards similar to this. Like, it's not broken, but like, I love this card. I played the shit out of this card in Bang Dream because it can randomly hit off events sometimes. So like, yeah, I like it. I would play it.
I really like this card. I don't know if it would ever see play, actually, though.
Maybe
actually,
like we've seen
maybe.
Regloss and we've seen Myth. Like, both of those have.
Oh God, yes.
Both of those have events that you actually would probably want to, like. There's more events in this setup that you'd actually consider running, I think. That make cards like this.
I wouldn't play it in Myth because it doesn't have a soul trigger. I would 100% play it in Regloss. If I was playing a generic Hololive deck with that event, I would play this. I think the deck that plays this is probably Gen 4. Because you can use this to confirm characters to hit off your Conator Brainstorm, and you can use this to dig for the event.
Slots are the issue, I think, because Hololive's got so
Essentially.
many cards.
Yeah,
But
I don't
other
know
than
what
that,
combos
like
you're playing.
cards pretty good.
I don't know what combos you're playing in Gen 4, but like if you're playing the Toa top end, this is another way to filter out bars. If you're not just playing the Mio double climax filter or the Mio double drop search, I guess you could play this. But anyway.
Right.
We want to let Blank read this one because he didn't get to read like a ton of cards.
Also, I like Rene, despite her making all of Fauna's cards irrelevant.
Oh no!
I'm
Wait.
never gonna get over it, bro. I'm never gonna get over it, bro. But it's fine.
I think I did it
Anyway.
again too.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, I can
no.
already see it.
It's a level 0
I can
climax
already see
combo.
that bottom act effect. Okay. When Azure Sky's Fault is placed in your climax area, if you have 2 or more other reveal top card of your deck, choose one. Hollow ID, VTuber, or Hololive character among them revealed to your opponent, put in your hand. Oh, the Hollow ID is the event for that group.
We'll read that.
So not trait, and the other 2 are trait. Reveal to your opponent, put in your hand, put the rest of the waiting room. It also has act. Pay 1. Rest 2 of your characters. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Choose one level 1 or higher card from among them. Reveal it to your opponent. Put it in your hand, and put the rest into waiting room.
All right, so
So,
You know how crazy it is? Like,
you're
that
telling
effect is
me
real.
not only do you not have to sack the climax, this card
no.
also goes. This card also goes plus. So
Card also
So the
if you
bottom
plus.
effect
field,
exists,
Yeah.
I know, but my point
but
is,
like not with a
if you
climax
field 2
combo.
of this, if you field 2, you can every turn go +3. Right?
Yeah, because you just tap them for their own or act effect.
That's my rating.
Oh no!
Wishes.
How? Fauna, please. Fauna, please get a good card. Just like a single actual card. Bushi, please.
Yeah, I don't think this is broken
This
for the
act
record.
effect
Like,
is. I don't think it's broken either, but it's just so funny that it's just like, oh
yeah,
hey,
this is
you remember Fauna?
absolutely
Well, fuck
pathetic.
you.
If anyone's causing psychic damage, it ought to be Rene. That's like her entire life. She's just dealing psychic damage to different people depending on what day and how she's
Oh
feeling.
man.
Like I said, I really like Rene. Her collab with Fauna, where they're both wearing like those trucker hats, was very funny. Wishing I was fishing. We love to see
I'm
it.
trying to think of all the potential implications for this in Hololive proper,
Is-
but like all I'm seeing is I'm seeing Lisbeth from Seven Deadly Sins. Like
So
I'm
here's
seeing
the thing.
a
Like
card
this
that
card's
goes
like we were
+3 and
talking
it's
about
on a
Gen
door
4.
instead of a stock soul, you know?
You guys remember that Gen 4 conversation we just had with that Oz key? This can grab the Gen 4 event.
No, I can't. Well, no, you can for the rest too. You're right.
So like you have that,
Icon
and then
that's
like
it.
you just have this climax combo that can also just like doot. And the thing is, uh oh no, never mind. It says put in a waiting room. I thought it was gonna be put back on top of deck, because then you would just like trigger a door and then get a plus anyway if it
Nah,
just stayed on top.
nah.
It'd be very funny.
This climax combo
This
exists some
It's
more,
not
so.
coterie.
You know, though, here's something you can do in this, right? So you know how like in
Hollow X.
sometimes you would like do the thing where you'd play the Louis resonator instead of a brainstorm, and you could just like rush those and go and resonate the Laplace and then look at 3, add anything, right? So if you have 2 Louis and you resonate the Laplace twice, you pay 2 stock, you look at 6, you go +2, right? But with this, if you have 2 of these and you have the climax, you can rest both of these to look at 4 at a level 1 or higher, and then you can look at top, add it twice.
Oh,
So you're
okay,
effectively
6.
paying 1 less stock to look at the same amount of cards and go
Go
the same
plus!
amount of plus, because you invest the door, you go -1, but you go +3. So for if you're doing that and you're playing ID, guess what, fucker? You don't have to play Laplace anymore. You can just play this. and you still might not need a brainstorm.
People are playing the Gen 6 stuff in ID.
Oh,
What
is it
even?
not the same gen?
No.
No,
Oh no, you're
no,
right. It's
they're
not.
the
Okay, well,
But
whatever. In
Chloe
any
and
case,
LaPlus is Gen
yeah,
6
I
for
don't.
Hollow
but this is
X.
okay.
Indonesia's not a
Forget that.
deck.
It's still
This is the thing.
this is the new 8 door deck, is what I'm saying, right? Because look, Raine, the level 1 Raine, can also incidentally grab this if you need it.
True.
Like you're already playing that to help recur your
Also the
Chloes.
level 0 Rene.
Yeah, also level 0. Like,
Mhm.
and then you just play the one Marian door for when you need to kill them. Like you
Oh,
could just advantage the whole early game and
we
then just kill them with Mario whenever you need to.
we also have another
This is
door because second gen is the door gen. So
yeah.
we have an Anya
This
door
is
on top of
also
that.
the perfect card to kill with Marine because you get to rest these
Oh
bitches,
my
go
god!
+1, and then
And
you
then
can
you can
slam the
slam the
Marines and kill these off
Marines.
to get the cards you really need.
Rain and Marine,
Dude,
let's go. Marine never dies.
Dude, you know what does die? My hopes for Fauna getting good stuff.
Yep.
Um,
Still Millet,
I
Actually,
think
this
Fauna.
the
card
card's
probably
cool
is an A
though,
plus.
so I'm
It's
gonna go
probably
with
like an A
I'm gonna
minus.
I'm gonna go with yeah.
I would agree
I
with
actually
this
want this to
100%.
exist. This card's pretty cool. I just don't think I would.
Yes.
Do I want it to exist in Hololive though?
I don't think
That's
I do,
because that's how
honestly.
we were doing the rating. I think that it's probably too good in
Yeah,
Hololive because of Mari.
I think I'm fine with it not being in Hololive now that Gadget has reminded us.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. Like, what's the stupidest thing Hololive can do with all of its stock? Like, is there any like blatantly? I guess it would be Gen 4. It's just you'd slam the
So
Gen 4
that
event and poop on them, right? Like, there's no Clemex combo in Hololive that's like Hendrickson that's so stock gated it's bad, right?
well, Hendrick's not even stock gated. It's like 7 stock to triple Hendrickson.
Oh yeah, but it's getting
But
gated.
the other thing is in the summer collection, I think they got an on play burn one card.
They did. The
So you could just like spam that over and over again if you wanted.
it's also in red.
Is it Rene? Is it actually Rene? I
I'm.
can't. Please tell me it's Rene. That'd be
It'd
so
be so
funny.
good. Yeah, because it's like it's a 4 more early play that's also on play. Top check for burn one.
That's just too
Yeah,
funny at that
that's
point.
funny. Did we break white shorts tonight?
Right?
We
Dude,
already saw Flamoco, so
Rene
yeah.
gets. I mean, Rene gets a lot of good cards.
Yeah, this
At
card's
least this
so
one you have to
real
hit your
that it.
top check.
Yep.
Yeah, but like this card's so real that this could be a real fauna, so like a sorry, not fauna, sorry, Raine support card with all the
Oof.
stuff she already has already.
Mission
It's pretty
accomplished.
crazy. You know what's wild is we talked about this card for like 10 minutes and we haven't even talked about the event that it bonds to.
Yeah, the event's an odd fish. I want to go ahead and read the
Uh,
event.
You're a fish. All right,
I'm
let's
puffing. That's a
go ahead.
bird. It's like a penguin. Fundamental differences. All right. So important note: Hollow ID trait is keying off of all 3 of the Hollow ID generation traits. Clarified. At least that's what the top bits
effectively
of.
this could search all of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
No, I get that.
if you have 2 or more Hollow ID characters, this card can be played from your hand without fulfilling color requirements. Choose a VTuber or Hololive character in your winning room, return it to your hand. If that character is Hollow ID trait, choose one of your Hollow ID trait characters, and that character gets plus 1,000 power until end of turn. Then, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a level 0 or lower character, put it into your stock.
Coin flip to get stock.
These
And it
cards are
salvages any
pretty good.
character?
Salvages, yeah, any character. And if you grab a Hollow ID, there's an additional benefit.
So like the math on this like should check out, I think, because
It took some.
he's trading like the fact that these normally go to memory for like this bonus hollow ID condition and like being able to
Yeah.
be played without color requirement.
Yeah, I get that.
It took some finagling. For
I
sure.
think that's the trade-off.
So this can get any character.
Yeah. If you want,
And
it
it's
can just
red,
be like.
but if you
Yeah, it can be like a
Yeah.
1-0 salvage.
that's what I'm saying. Like is a 1-0 salvage event like too good? I guess not really, because we usually see those. Usually
Ooh,
1-0 search
actually,
events are
I'm-
just plain. Are there any
getting-
implications to this? You can get this off of the Rene. You can.
So the Rene level 0 top checks to salvage.
so that you can see.
So if you play that, you salvage, you play the ID event, you see, well, no, you play Rene, you see a 0, you salvage a card. You play the event, you salvage another card, refund the stock to play the event.
Wait, no, because the Rene sees. Oh yeah, for the 0, they're at the Rico. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Brain.
For
Yeah.
the 0 effect, yeah. So
I mean,
even when you
yeah.
whiff your Rene, or quote unquote whiff your Rene, because you only salvage a
Salvage
0,
0. You
you
can
then
use
get to
this.
salvage whatever you want instead and refund the stock back.
Oh God.
Which also then
Alright.
puts you one card closer on your next brainstorm if you want to brainstorm that turn.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing this
That's
doesn't
hot.
have a counter on it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that would be ridiculous.
Oh, dude, they don't do these stock refund effects with counters on
Yeah,
them.
the counter is the thing that
That
gets
should
it.
be insane.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna
Like
go with a
money
sure.
can't buy dare is still a real card. Remember that?
What?
Oh yeah, the money can't buy dare is the
Oh,
Mushoku event.
dairy.
That's
Right.
just
I
one
heard.
of the forms of
I heard dairy, and I was like,
dairy.
I've heard dairy.
Yeah.
I've seen the Mushoku card, but I thought that this was gonna be like, okay, was this like what set had like a cow or cow
No.
thing in it? Was it some Bang Cheap
Yeah,
card
no,
from
it's
some
a
long
card.
forgotten
Card.
set?
Did you also think of Goblin Slayer when you heard that?
Yes.
Money can't buy dairy.
Not just because
Cowgirl.
like Goblin
Crazy.
Slayer lives in my brain right now because I'm trying to prep up for a set 2 project.
You should put that card in
Did
that
you watch
set.
Did you watch the final few episodes of
Nope, not
season
yet.
2?
Not yet.
Dude, you have to. It's right at the end. It's so funny. You have to put that on the new finisher you're printing.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Alright,
Anyway,
back to cards.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that any Hololive deck plays this unless you're like trying to, because like the thing with the Rene Rico was really cool, but like I don't know that you would play this card just to have that synergy with the Rene Rico. I think it's a cool thing you can do if you're playing a bunch of ID cards.
And you may want to.
But I think in a normal Hololive pile, you're probably not playing this. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna give this a B minus. Only because I think in a quote unquote
Okay,
normal pile, you're not playing this. But I think the card's fine. I think it's actually probably great. It's just a bit more restrictive.
I like that it synergizes with all the Hollow ID stuff. The other thing is both the event and the Rene Zero, like the event also now can confirm the top check for your Rene burn card.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you can loop this if you overplay the Rene burner, and then you salvage it back with the event and you play it again.
And you can
Holy
So
you
you
can
build all
also
that stuff,
you
and
also
then you
check your
salvage with the
combo.
event every time.
You also check with your
Yo.
combo because your combo needs to know like if it's a character, like at least that top one if it's a character or not. Because if there's a climax on top, you just don't play the Rene level 0 combo.
Or if you want to mill off the
Yeah.
climax, you can see it's a climax and mill the climax off instead of triggering it.
Yeah, with the other. Yeah.
You could play Rene Waifu theoretically, couldn't you?
You still need another.
He doesn't have a
climax.
second combo, but like
Okay, if you play
with
so you
the way
play
I
four
do
of
my rifle rules, you
you play four
can.
empty, right?
Yeah, you're allowed to play 4 of any other climax if your girl doesn't have another climax. So you
Yeah.
just pick 4 random doors.
There's still
And,
not
like,
enough
saying
Rene
you
cards.
play-
Yeah,
There's still not
I'm
enough.
saying you play four of the
there's
Ollie
not.
door. Yeah, but like you play four of the Ollie door, and you play the what's her face as your what is her name? Not Luna. Her name is
Muna?
Anya,
not Luna. Yeah, Anya. That's her name.
Okay.
Anya,
You play four Anya.
the
That's
door
her four
searcher,
of tech. Yeah, that's your four of tech, and then you
the
play four
door
of the Rene
searcher.
Burn.
Sure, yeah.
So your whole early game is just spent like you use the level 1
Oh, alright.
Rene to summon copies of this or the level 0 Rene from like the promo Rene. That's just 3,500 drop stores. You just summon copies of that and build your stock, and then you do the combo every turn and build all that stock, and then you slam and you can play 4 of this ID event because it has Rene on it. And you just play 4 of the early play every turn, and then play this.
Yeah, even
You know?
with that, I'm still not sure you have enough cards. Like, even if you play the premium set 1 green one,
I know, but it's so funny.
I think you're still
The
shy
idea's
on cards.
there.
Yeah, she just needs
Yeah,
more
but
cards.
like
Well,
I
you
need
need,
Rainy
like-
to actually get a combo, so I can play a deck around her. Because I throw Rainy cards in a bunch of different things.
Yeah, she's just
but,
Yeah,
she's
if she-
tech.
If she gets a combo, it's never going to be this good, though. Even if it's a level 0 combo, it won't be this good.
Probably not.
Well, I mean, I don't even think the combo part is the best part about the card. Like, the combo's just kind of whatever.
The repeatable
Yeah.
odds.
Oh, wait a minute, guys. We didn't even talk about you can rest your helmet Kanata as cost and then immediately sack it to get something else.
So if
That's
you didn't
true.
find a good level 1 card or anything, you can just do the Kanata thing to get a 0 out of it you actually want to play.
Like, you might just straight up not play a Brainstorm and Kanata anymore. You might just play this, honestly.
I'd be fine
No,
with that.
you definitely
can-
still play the Coco that makes her bigger. You definitely still
Oh, yeah,
play that
I guess
card.
you can. Yeah, okay. But this is your other back row card, potentially,
can
for
play
early
both.
game. You can still look at top 4 and grab a counter and then sack the helmet off with it. I don't know. It's an option.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Shit's fair.
All right.
Good lord.
All right, anyway.
Moving on
Just the
into
more and more combos.
moving into more
Sorry, listen.
funny stuff.
This is what you asked for. You said there'd be some spicy stuff in red.
I was not kidding, yeah.
400. We got 400 plus cards to run through our brain with every new card, plus the ones you've already shown us. Like,
It's like
there's gonna be every card's a story now.
you have to run an entire Walmart receipt through your brain every time you want to think about a card.
Kinda, yeah.
And speaking of, that does not get any better, because this whole package we're about to talk about.
Oh lord, have mercy.
Yeah.
I see this level 3 Oski has 4 effects on it, and I already want to cry.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll start
I
with
haven't read any of them, but I'm just looking on the
Yeah.
small one, and I can see.
We'll start with this level 0. So, what Virtual Diva Oski Red, 1k power. During your turn, your other Hololive characters get 500 power. When your other Reborn Virtual Diva Oski is placed on the stage from your hand, if that character has no Virtual Diva Oski Red underneath it, you may put this card from your hand or stage face up underneath that character as a marker. You can also rest this card, choose one of your characters, and that character gets 500 power and no backups during this card's battle. Your opponent cannot play backup during this card's battle till end of turn.
Okay, well, at least it doesn't summon it, like some other cards in this presentation.
At least it doesn't summon
Summon
it
it.
is an insane compliment at this point.
Like, the fact
I
that
like
it
the
does nothing.
synergy with the old Oski 3-2,
Yeah.
because like it needs like full field fever to do the burn one in the scry. So you can like give a potentially problematic lane like no backups, so they can't like fuck with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to talk about waifu decks. Oski waifu with this set should be actually doable. Like, climax is included.
There's 4 cards to go with this.
So, we'll talk about that in a minute. It's not
And there's a
strictly.
climax combo. Oh, lordy. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Don't.
Okay.
Wait a minute,
Wow.
wait a minute. Hold on. Is this a Sunder combo?
No.
Okay. I saw markers and this 3-2 and a bunch of other cards that go with it, so
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
checking.
I didn't put Sunder in main Hololive. This was before I actually like looked at Sunder as like, I kind of want to mess around with this more. This was before Spyro had I had looked at Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Not even for like a set review perspective, from like a looking at cards he was putting together for it perspective. So this was before I saw Sunder and was like, that's actually really cool. This is doing something else with those markers.
All right, so I'm gonna evaluate this one blind, since we haven't looked at all the other cards that can go with this Reborn Virtual Diva.
We can also just look through those before we start talking.
Oh no,
about
I'm gonna give this one a preliminary rating, and then I'm gonna go back and then give it a final rating. I think that's probably fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we're blind reacting to this stuff. Like, the fact that it can somehow get itself as a marker already has me spooked a little bit, because that means that the Oski's going to be broken and have you've already fucking spoiled your
Oski's gonna be
finisher,
broken.
JD.
It's insane.
You already like showed your hand with the Fuecoco, right? Or Mocha, whatever her name is. Like, you're gonna justify it being broken because it needs a marker but can't get a marker itself. This Oski can rest itself, give a character 500 power and no backups, and then you can hard play one copy of the Oski. So like you have your global 1500 Oski, You rest this, you give the global 1500, 500 more in hexproof, then you play this, and it moves it under it, which frees up another lane, so you can play another 1500 Oski. And if you don't want to do that, cool. It's also just incidentally a global 5 on turn.
Okay.
This card's like probably a C plus, but like it's only gonna get better from here. I can already tell. Let's keep going.
The no backups effect in general is just really good, and that's the
yeah.
entire reason I gave it the B plus.
Yeah, it's
Like the rest of it is to be seen, but
No,
no backups
okay.
and Hololive of all cards.
Yeah,
Like you
sure.
can. Oh, that means Kanata can't get anti-changed immediately.
true.
Or like
I guess that's true.
they have a bunch
I
of
just
early play stuff that you
Mhm.
can just
No, I get you.
ignore. Backups
I just
with.
don't know. Do you make space for this though? Do you really make space for it?
In matchups, you need it. Like when Mushoku was running around, it was playing a bunch of different. It played
You know what? Yeah, you're probably right.
tap
It probably
counter and
deserves
stuff.
it.
Like if you inside one lane, make one lane no backups, and you just have the front lane tap counters turned off.
Save the Fuemoco from early play backup counter. All right, nice guy.
Yeah.
Virtual Diva, Oski Black. Oh, so they're all virtual
Yeah.
divas. They're just different colors. Okay, well.
We can talk about what that means in a minute, but
Uh. Okay. Alright, so Virtual Diva, Oski Black. During your. It's a level 1, 0 cost, 3500 power. During your turn, if you have another character, gains 3k. And then when your other reborn Virtual Diva Oski is placed on stage from your hand.
same effect as the.
If it has no other black as a marker, you can put it underneath it as a marker. And then it has auto. When this card attacks, you can ditch a character to draw a card. Alright, so this card's like.
Are you sure this isn't Sunder?
I'm sure.
This card is like bad, but like I'm sure you need to play it for payoff.
As far as Hololive goes,
Yeah.
it's pretty underwhelming. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with
Alright.
it. Like 80, like 6.5 ditch thing, sure, but this is Hololive.
Yeah. Which is funny. The attack effect is stolen partially from the Lammy level 0. I just made it just the on attack version, so it was only 500 power. All right.
Okay, so this is Virtual Diva Oski White, and it has that same marker effect. So if there's no other Oski White underneath the Virtual Diva, you can place this card from hand or stage underneath it as a marker. If you have 4 or more when you place this card, you can refund the stock. And this has pay to rest this, heal.
Alright, easy rating here for me. It's a 1 cost that can refund its cost, and also it's playable on standby, which already has Oski in it. Like Oski doesn't need this, and Hololive already has this. The pay to rest is on like a Pekko or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's also
Like-
a level assist. I would never play this card over the Pekko.
Yeah,
Is
you're
it
not
Pekko?
Like
you're not playing
it's
it
on
over the
Pekora.
Pekora. Yeah, it's the premium set 1 Pekora.
yeah. So like,
this card
the upside
will
to
not
this
see the
is
light of
it
day
can-
outside of this Oski.
The upside, well, listen. The upside to this is it can refund its stock cost. You can also stand by this in, but like, oh my god, like, okay. The thing is, if you're playing this Oski package, you're probably playing an Oski deck, which is already playing standby. So like, you know what? Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably but it's like here, and it's still a no. Like they don't. Hololive doesn't need another one of these, and it especially doesn't need another one of these that is more synergistic with standby, which is already good. Like,
How is
No.
it
The
more
other thing for me
synergistic?
is like
with
because this can marker from hand, like there's almost no reason to ever field this card.
Absolutely.
wait, you can marker from hand?
All 3 of them can.
It's hand. All of them are hand or stage.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
All right, well,
It's a very good question.
all right,
I
JB,
hope that
just
Cut
fuck
paste
me
it
up.
correctly.
Let's just fucking read this next Oski.
Reborn Virtual Diva.
It's got the other earlier Oski card on it too.
Yep,
Yep.
I'll tell you why.
And
Reborn.
wait a minute.
I'll tell
Is
you
there
why.
also this one we haven't seen?
It's the next card. I'll tell you
Yeah.
about it in a minute. Reborn Virtual Diva
Okay.
Oski. If you have 4 or more VTuber Hololive cards, it's an early play. This gets 1,000 for each marker under it. When it attacks, choose a
Oh,
character
fuck.
with Oski in its card name in your waiting room and put it face up underneath this card as a marker. If I was going to, if I had thought about putting extra cards, I would have just put more cards on this slide and have every Oski card it could grab. But I didn't think of that ahead of time. The payoff for doing all this: pay to ditch a card, send all of its markers to waiting room. At the end of this card's attack, fever condition, you may pay cost. If you deal X damage to your opponent, X is the number of markers sent. There's a sweet spot for this, obviously.
So if you
This is-
if you play the 0 cost and the 1 cost on your stage, they can put themselves underneath when you play this card, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you play the 0, you play the 1, you play this, and you can marker 1 Oski from your waiting room. So now it has 3 markers. It's sitting at 11.5.
Mhm.
And then on attack, fever, A1, sorry, not attack, end of attack, fever.
Yeah.
A2, ditch 1 card, and then sack all 3 markers to burn 3.
Mhm.
Alright. I thought this was going to be crazier than it is, but this actually doesn't seem that bad.
So I know that the other 3-2 Oski is a beloved part of Standby, but I also wanted something that just killed my opponent faster. So I figured, and I also was on an Oski kick at when I was putting this together, which is why she's so supported. On top of the fact that because she missed out on set 1, she's another character who is just missing cards. So, yeah. Blank has thoughts.
So, where did you get this bottom effect?
I didn't get it from anywhere. Well, technically. So there's the climax combo that Review Starlight has, the green one that I actually played against today on stream. But the idea is that it's also at the end of attack with climax combo, but with a slightly different cost on it. Throw away all the markers that you've collected on it to burn. So I took that, made it an off finisher. So increase the cost, made it the fever condition instead of something else.
So this is a pay to send all markers. Yours is with no combo, pay to ditch character, fever. Oh, I see. This is end of attack. Yours is end of attack, but the opponent has to be reversed.
Yep.
Okay.
Needs a reverse.
I guess that's fine.
How
what were you gonna
familiar
say?
are you guys with Kill a Kill?
Not really.
Not enough.
I don't like they don't print off finishers like this card anymore. So I don't know if like because this card it's a 3/2, and when it's placed on stage, you choose a Juneket's event and put it in your memory, and then you choose one of the level 0s and put it underneath this as a marker.
Oh.
And then it has pay 1, reveal a closed character in your hand, put it underneath this as a marker. Whenever this gets reversed,
Oh yeah.
you can pay cost and just rest it. And then it has beginning of encore step pay to deal X, which is X is the number of markers underneath this card.
Yeah.
And it
scales.
So it's like, I mean, yeah, because they in the power up set they made it to where you could get, in theory, 3 markers on the first turn it's played, and obviously this isn't an early play, and Kill a Kill's like super scuffed for plussing and stuff, and is like super old, so I don't think you should. But in terms of like, I don't know like what's going on with the Review card cost wise, and like the Ryuko might just be so old that they would just never print anything like it again.
The review card is just on attack. Choose a character in your waiting room. Give it a marker.
It has an assist that can give it a marker, but in and of itself, it's not natively giving itself markers. Well, no, yeah, on the on attack. So like,
Blank, remind me. The Ryuko is a level 2, correct?
It's a level 3. So
What
like
is
this
it,
comes
3?
down a
Okay.
level earlier. Yeah.
It does.
God,
Okay.
if I wish I could get that card down at level 2. The freaking like weird hand-on core effect would be so much more useful.
Yeah, they print that
Uh,
effect on level 2s and maybe even on
Okay.
level 1.
I
But
I'm gonna spiel here a little bit. So the Rem and ReZero is like the card, like the Ryuko's an obvious one to talk about. Rem is also. Rem is 2 or less climaxes you can early play, heals on play. I think it's like a 10k or like an 8-5. It's something kind of mid, but every time it kills its opponent, it gains a marker, and then it gains 1k cross turn for every marker.
oh,
So this is an easier early play condition. It also gets 1k for every marker. It sets up its own marker, but instead of getting a marker every time it kills something, it gets the markers from stage when you play it, or from hand.
yeah,
So
you
if you
found
have
it.
all 3 of the pieces in your hand, if you have the red, the white, and the black, this gets 4 markers, so it considered 12-5 cross turn.
And just be
It, but
insane
it,
marker
but it,
compression.
but it caps out at 12-5, right?
So
no.
because it's any character with ASCII in its name, and it stops checking
Oh, it's
for
on
different
attack, right?
names.
It's not on play.
And it
Okay,
stops
never
checking,
mind.
yeah, and it stops checking for
Okay, so
different
so
names.
this
So
is
like,
just Rem with an easier look like condition. So like it doesn't heal, but it has this off finisher effect. Like Rem is the card that carried ReZero set 1 in the meta. That was the first thing I wanted to say. Is this card's basically Rem, but arguably better. The other thing is because you don't have to use this off finisher effect. If you're playing an ASCII deck, this can just be a card that scales infinitely up to like 13-5, 14-5, 15-5. You know,
and stupid,
17k if you have the other ASCII off finisher in your front row.
Oh,
and
okay. So
stupid
Rem
compression.
Rem
Yeah.
is 9500 because they printed another version of Rem, by the way.
You've given us another ASCII off finisher with no investment, and in theory, this is anti-synergistic with standby because if you stand by it, none of the other cards get their effect to give it marker.
Mm-hmm.
But because this gains marker on attack and it's a fever, you can always incidentally pay 2, ditch 1, burn 1.
Yeah.
Which means this is also another viable card you can play in standby alongside Luna, alongside the other ASCII. I think, like, I don't think it's broken. Like, it's not immediately broken, but I think it's got to be a very good card because it can scale potentially infinitely.
Yeah.
And the longer it stays on board, the bigger it gets. Like,
Also, it
dude,
can
when
just be insane marker
I'm flashing
compression.
back to college, right? This would be like 2015, 2016, right? I had a friend who got a playset of JP ReZero
Oh.
because it was his favorite anime of all time. And I was playing set 1 in AOT into that shit, and I just could not out Rem. Like, yeah, set 1 AOT had an anti-change counter, but I wasn't playing it because I didn't realize how good counters were at the time. Like, there are so many things that this can't do. Like, Levi can't out it, the Mikasa can't out it. Once Rem gets going, there's no way to stop it. At least in the modern whites, you have blink, you have bounce, you have other things that can like hit this. But you know what your set has? Didn't you also print a card that gives a character hexproof? Am I wrong?
I know we have anti-backup in the ASCII itself. I don't know if I have hexproof.
I
No, I
thought
think
you
the
had it
only
in one of
hexproof
these.
thing was the Iraha combo,
Yeah, she's
and that
Oh,
only
you're
gave
right.
reversed.
itself
Okay.
hexproof.
Okay. Well, at least we're not quite there yet. Like that's the one thing I'm spooky of. Like if Hololive ever gets hexproof, this card instantly goes to an S because
Dear God,
I don't know.
Hololive with hexproof. Fuck me.
Yeah.
It's
He said, "Wait until we go over blue, and I'll show you hexproof."
Oh, cool. Excellent. Great.
So they did print another version of Rem because Rem was always like top card of deck.
Mhm.
But in Bunny Girl Set 3, they printed Rem as a rare, 4 more condition, still heals, still gets 1,000 power per marker. When you reverse your battle opponent, you get to choose the marker from Waiting Room, which is like pretty sick.
Wow. So it's literally this card.
Not exactly. It doesn't have an off finisher effect, and it does heal, and this card
Right. It
technically
heals.
doesn't do anything. Like, technically, this card
yeah.
does not have like a level 3 effect, quote unquote.
I
But that's why it gets to have 4 abilities on it, and its on play effect is like gain 3 markers instantaneously because yes.
So, the Green Glow Juna also doesn't have one. The marker compression, either it's the marker compression that's your level 3 effect, or it's your combo, and the combo being equivalent to her auto effect. So, it's either the marker thing, because similar, like when we were talking about Scooby Doo, how the Madame Carlotta didn't have a quote unquote level 3 effect. Actually, the marker effect was probably the level 3 effect. Marker compression, they might value that enough to treat as a level 3 effect. Also,
Correct, but this
yeah.
card specifically doesn't have a level 3 effect because all the marker stuff's on the other Oskis, not this card.
It's the same
No, but
level
he's
of
saying-
marker stuff as the
he's saying the
Juna
on-attack
in
game
review
marker.
has. Yeah.
Yeah.
On attack gain marker?
Yeah. The auto effect.
Interesting.
Yeah. The combination of the continuous.
So what I'm hearing is if you change this to reverse, that means that it wouldn't have a level 3 effect, and you could
it
in
means
theory
that
make it bigger.
It means that I would take change the auto, because I'm treating honestly the off finisher effect. I think is actually if the marker thing isn't, that's the level 3 effect, and it's toned down because I realized the review card is deal 1 X times, and this is deal X. I remember I actively
okay.
nerfed it because I didn't want to have a deal 1 X times off finisher floating around in Hololive on a card that is already potentially like compressing you 4 markers and swinging at 12-5 as an early
Dude,
play.
imagine you play this down and you play the Iris down and you just had a bunch of like ping ones between the two of them. That shit would be so stupid.
Yeah.
People would be like, dude, Aki, you think Aki's some bullshit? Let me show you some real ping one.
It's called Hololive V Singer deck. And it's just Iris combo, and you can play either of the Oski combos, depending on which one you want.
You know what's,
You just
what's
play
crazy
both.
about that is because they're both technically early plays, you can do that at level 2 and then still play Gura at level 3 if you're in that insane.
If you're that much of a fucking mad lad, yeah.
No, because all these other Oskis don't have soul triggers besides the 1/1.
True. So you'd only play
but,
the
like,
1/1 and the 3/2.
You
and
could,
that's
though,
still,
is my point.
Even just with the 1/1 and the 3/2, that's still a decent amount of markers.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It's still Cocochino at end of attack.
Yeah.
If it was the penguin, even still, even if you just played the 1/1 and this card, it's still like a burn 2.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
Yeah. Pay 2, ditch 1, burn 2 is not terrible. Pay 2, ditch 1, burn 3 feels pretty good, I'd say. Except at that point, it's obviously, with each of these, it's not just the pay 2, pitch 1. It's pay 2, pitch 1, and whatever marker investment you need to put in. So it's either sacking characters or discarding cards, technically.
Also, Blank, you're totally wrong because, like, this synergizes with Gura because it can pull all your Oskis that don't have soul triggers out of your waiting room, and then you refresh.
Well, you pull one,
because the auto effect on the others are from stage or hand.
No. I'm saying,
but like on attack, you could.
You take the Oski standby combo from your waiting room and you put it under as a marker. You take the Oski like stupid resting and
yeah,
it is. But you know what? It's free compression. You don't have to play Lammy. You can just have this be your card that pulls non-soul triggers out of your deck. You know.
No, we still play Lammy.
Yeah,
I love Lammy.
You still play like.
You do, but like, but you could is what I'm saying. This is like your second memory area. You stick cards under here.
Yeah.
Also, and then you play the Oz key from earlier, and you top check 2 and make sure your thing has soul triggers.
Yeah, the guess. The guess Oski, yeah.
Oh, this Oski, yeah.
Yeah. Oski Gura take 2.
I still don't think that I'd play this stuff in Gura, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a thing you.
There's too many non-soul triggers as part of the package.
Yeah. And there's one more to talk about, but Blank still needs to rate this.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you gotta rate all this stuff. I think honestly, I'm gonna maintain.
This card's like good.
I know what I'm rating this.
But I don't want it to exist.
I'm giving it all a straight no, because like
these are
good cards. They're well designed. I I like the idea of the early play, but like 110%, none of these cards need to exist in Hololive. None of them do. It's like the only one that does need to is the black, and it's like not good enough that you would play it. It's just kind of whatever. Like, I don't think you need this rest card, give a character no backups. You definitely don't need the
Yeah.
healer. And this is just like, God. Like,
There is no backups. It's
what
the
even
offender to me.
what even other early play burns are there in Hololive? It's just Noel, right?
And
Like,
the new one,
this card,
the Rene from the swimsuit that we were talking
yeah,
about.
this card completely invalidates the need to play Noel and Gura. Like, this is your new Noel once this card gets printed. Like, you get to on play marker the card that no backups, right? And then on attack you get to marker the Oski standby. Like, and that's incidentally just a couple cards you're switching out. And again, you can put all your Soul Trigger Oskis underneath this as markers in there.
It's more cost than Noel.
No, it's not. I'm
Well,
pretty sure
Noel's pay 2.
Yeah, Noel's just
Yeah,
pay 2.
Noel,
This
But,
is
like-
to IC as well.
this is to pay 2, pitch 1, like sack a character, or to get to burn 2.
The other thing is just like I
Yeah.
do not think you would ever play this in Gura. All this shit has way too many non-soul triggers.
I guess. I don't know.
I think you
I do like that it's balanced by the fact that like you either have to attack with this over 3 turns or sink more hand into this to get the burn to go higher. Like that kind of scaling effect I think is good. Like you're right. The sweet spot for this would be like 2 markers. Once you start having 3 or more markers, you start having to overpay.
Yep.
Technically. Unless you're attacking with this over multiple turns, but I think that's the only reason I'm not giving it an S. If it was like 1 stock less to do this or like 1 hand less, it would be absolutely insane. But like, as is.
I just looked at the next card.
Yeah, the next one's
alright.
the next one's
That's
a promo.
so funny.
Yeah,
Alright, here we
so
go.
You want to read it,
funny.
Blake?
Yes, when your climax is placed in your climax
Hold on,
area,
hold
this
on,
card
hold on.
gets.
Hold on. This
Hold
card's,
on,
you
hold
gotta
on.
say the name. No, you gotta say the card's name. This is Panzerjäger. Panzerjäger
Okay.
Oski.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm much more focused on the other stuff going on here.
Alright.
When this climax is placed in your climax area, this card gets X power. Until end of turn, X is equal to the number of VTuber Hololive characters you have times 1,000. This card has Force, which I will go over here in a minute, so I'm going to skip down to the climax combo first.
Sure.
When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if 0 meters is in your climax area and you have 4 more other Hololive characters, choose one 0th generation or character in your waiting room, return it to hand, choose up to 1 VTuber or Hololive character in your waiting room, and put it into stock.
I might need a trade on it. I don't remember.
So Force, for those unaware, is a mechanic in Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars has a set for all of those English original or English only players, and Force is at the start of your climax phase. You can pay the cost, which it's usually discard 1. If you do, choose 1 character facing this card and another one of your opponent's level 1 or lower characters and exchange them as stand. You can essentially, this is you can like mess up people's back rows and stuff with this. Force is really funny when it goes off. You can also, like, sometimes Force is not level restricted. They're a little weird with how they handle all the Force stuff at different levels, but ultimately, this is really funny that she's just like, I have a lightsaber, so I get the Force mechanic.
Yeah.
And I still swing at 7,500.
It's
I
Yeah.
have a really good.
This card is like stupidly high tuned. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's 8,500. This is 8,500.
Isn't it actually 9-5 with climax?
It is. It is 9-5
No,
at climax, and it only gets.
Wait,
bigger.
it's not other? You psycho.
That's
Yeah.
what I said. Like, what the hell?
This can
Yeah.
be mapped properly. There's no way this is mapped properly.
How is this balanced? Yeah.
Honestly, looking at it, I couldn't promise you anything either. I know that the idea was climax 1K, force 500, combo 500. Because I had to read up on Star Wars to actually figure out what the fuck was going on with Force. Because that was a whole mess and a half.
let's say it is 1K for every other. How is that a 4x condition?
Oh, so when your climax is placed on your climax area is like a very it's weird. You get a decent amount of power out of that. Like
I mean, the
on like
Kaguya
at
one zero gets
1500.
like 1500.
Yeah. So this
Mm-hmm.
paid 1k for maybe that. And if it paid 1k for that, then it has some room to be stupid.
The
Okay,
Shizu in
math
Slime,
aside,
it's 2k when it attacks if you have her climax in your climax area. It's part of her like climax combo. That card sits at 4k. So 4k and then 2k
okay,
from the
but
combo and has a memory. Like, it's just like I don't know.
that's
8-5 is
entirely
already a
different though,
lot.
because that climax combos
I don't
costed
know.
1,000 power, if I remember correctly, the Shizu.
Yeah, it's something like that.
So that's different than just generic when climax is placed.
Yeah, this card is stupid
Yeah.
big for
Okay.
any
Sure.
climax. Yeah,
Card, it's this card.
it's
Okay, it's
insane.
probably overstated, but also like it's so funny.
Yeah, that was the
Like,
goal.
like
uh,
if you have to tone down the power, like whatever, you're still reversing their back row. Like who cares? Now, the one thing I'll say is you cannot mess with slime with this card because you have to choose the character facing this, and even if they don't have the hexproof online for some reason, you still can't touch Shuna in the back row because she's not uh,
one or lower.
level
Yeah.
1 or lower.
Level one
So
or lower.
you at best get rid of the brainstorm.
Ah.
Yeah, but
However, you know what Hololive has? It has Eofi. Nobody knows what Eofi
Is that
does.
center stage only? You
Well,
give
I'm
plus a
checking.
level.
I'm checking
You
right
give
now.
plus or minus a
I'm
level,
checking
right?
right now.
it's plus a
But
level
is
to
it
your
center stage
character,
or
not
something?
minus a level to another character. And this
No, it's
does
No, I
not.
think
not.
it's any
It's
character. It's
not.
any character.
It is rest. It's rest this card. Choose another character. It gets +1 level until end of opponent's. Oh, it gets +1 level.
Yeah,
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
yeah, that's complete.
So
That's
there are cards that can give plus or minus level though.
yeah. There's like
I can't remember any. There's a
All
Rimuru
right. Well,
in,
hold on,
or is that one
because
only -1?
I've
I
got
don't remember.
another. It's this card. It's a bad witch. No, that's the one. Yeah, here it is. Expert's power Shion. When this card's placed on stage from hand, reveal top if it's one or higher. Choose one of your opponent's level one or lower like level one or lower. God damn it.
and choose again. Remember, the idea is how
I
are
know,
you
but
getting
like,
rid
Well,
of that
how,
threat?
Shuna can be chosen, but it can't be chosen
I'm
by
just
this
saying, yeah,
force
like
effect.
Hololive has so many stupid cards that just do incidental things like level manipulation, and none of them actually touch Shuna.
Yeah,
Like, oh god, that's so stupid. All right, look, let's. I'm just trying to like find ways to make this card funny, but let's be real. As written, this card is an 8-5 swing, 9k, 9-5 with climax combo, and you can ditch character to stand and swap to your opponent's character, so you can guarantee at least one of these gets a reverse. And it's on a door,
yep.
and it's an on reverse +2 if you have full board. So like this is probably like an A.
There's
The
no
only
way.
reason I don't think
I
it's a
think
straight S is because Chloe exists. But like even then, this card's probably going to be winning 2 lanes, and then you're going to get to go +4 for combo.
Yeah,
It's on a door.
I
Like
don't.
so.
I think you'd play this over Chloe.
I don't know if you could play this over Chloe because you have to discard to do the force thing to guarantee reverses or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's paying for itself
I know
now.
it
Now.
swings like crazy
Yeah.
big. The other thing, combo aside, this card has like potentially enough utility on it to like
Just play without.
maybe slot in other decks anyway, just to fuck with your opponent.
Yeah.
Because like there's that 2/2
Yeah.
Botan that has all that memory condition, can like attack a back row instead for all this
oh
cost, all this memory. This
yeah.
card is just like straight up discard a thing. Discard a character.
Kill your
Fuck your
opponent's
opponent's
Can
back
brainstorm.
row.
you can you grab your opponent's Eins with this?
It's a 1/1.
Yes, you
It can.
can grab the 1/1 Ein specifically.
This
You
kills
can't
one.
move
You,
the 3/2 out of the way, so you have to have a non-hexproofed Eins or some other
Mm.
character.
Yeah, because you need to be able to choose the
But
card
yes, you
facing
can
it. Yeah.
grab the 1/1 forward.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
oh,
still
you,
it's
you
hexproof
can't
still
do
fucks
it
it
because
up.
you have to choose both, don't you?
Yeah, so you
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 have to
you
choose
have to
both.
you have to
However,
kill
you
the
just
one
put it
one
in the
before.
non-hexproof lane.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I'm confused.
Overlord can't get 3
Oh,
hexproof front row lanes.
unless you play two copies of the one one, or just playing two copies of the
No,
one
because they
one
can still
shut it
only
down.
get 2.
Okay. Oh, because it.
They can still only get 2
Oh.
because they can only give it to 1/3/2 Eynes. They can only give
Oh,
hexproof
I
to
see. So
1/3/2 Eynes because
so
of
if
that
the Irons is
combo.
the only thing,
That gets the
if the Irons is the
hexproof.
only thing they have, you can't touch it. But if they have multiple other cards in their front row, then you can touch those. Okay, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah. Okay.
You can
Okay,
if for
that's
some
yeah.
reason your opponent puts up 3 Eynes 3/2s, they can still only give 2 of them hexproof.
So you can still.
So you can
Right,
still
yeah.
move 1.
Hey, that's pretty nice.
Although
Okay.
if they have 2 1/1s on board, um,
God help you.
it's probably not actually worth doing the effect because then they
Yeah.
just still have their Eynes and they don't care.
Unless you
Um,
kill both of them with two Ask.
well,
Yeah.
the problem is that they'd have
They still have
the other
three
2 lanes would be
Irons.
hexproof, so they can't move it. They
They
can't
still.
move it.
Yeah. Oh right. Yeah.
You
With two
can't
eyes
kill
on
both of
board.
them. You can only kill one of them. But this
So
card saying when a climax is placed, you could put this in like standby and it still swings 8,500
yeah,
and
that's
just
what I was
has
gonna
like
say.
the on
Yeah,
reverse tech stuff.
Yeah.
you could just play
This
two of
card is
this
very
in.
good.
You could just put this in Chloe as like a two of
Oh
and
my
use it to
god.
fuck with Irons or
Because you can
whatever the
summon it
fuck,
with
or
a Rain
you know,
Egg.
like yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
damn.
Well, if
I
you
don't know.
summon this
So
off Rainy, it
here's
does
the
swing big, but you can't use the force effect. Oh wait, no, the force effect's at
Uh,
climax phase. Never mind.
uh-huh. Yeah. It's Force is on the climax phase specifically. Yeah, all of them are like that. I had to check because I was like,
hmm
how the hell does this work?
yeah. So Hololive already has like the Toa that's a grappling hook.
Yep.
Like an act, you it's a one cost to play, and then you can just send it to waiting room to cook one of your opponent's characters. But like it's a level 2.
Yep.
So like this comes out a level earlier, and it's like a level 1, and it's potentially a combo, so it's like more playable.
Yeah.
I like that
Oh,
you have to
also,
ditch the character to utilize the force. It's a lot of good things going for this.
And it hit does the
Um,
event for
there's
reasons.
so 2 points. In the standby stuff, ditching a character is actually potentially a benefit
Benefit.
at the beginning of climax phase.
Yeah.
And then because the Overlord players want to be playing that 1/1 down as early as possible to get their goats into waiting room if
Oh
they have them
yeah.
in hand, you could fuck them
Fuck
up
them up
before
before
their
they have
first
their turn.
Ein's turn.
Yeah. So like they can't just fill their spot with goats the way they want to for their combo. Yeah.
Mhm.
We did. Sith
We
Lord
finally
Oski.
found the answer. Sith Lord Oski.
Yeah. The
Oski's pretty cool.
Oh
I
yeah.
like her design.
Yeah, the new design that she
Yeah.
has is just so good. I'm so lucky that I found this art, by the way, because I was like, the reason this card exists is because at the time they were going by Gunblade Night in the Discord, was like this needs to be something, and they showed this grab from the hologram, and I had already seen this episode, be like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool if they did something with that, but they don't use hologram art for climaxes. At least they haven't yet. So it'd be kind of like a hard sell. But I was like, yeah, I'll give this a shot. And then I found this art of Oski with the saber. It was like the one fan art, but it's just so freaking good. And then the name, if I remember correctly, the name is taken from her Ark Survival Evolved participation or something like that. There's some game that they were playing where she just went and did some crazy shit. So they gave her this badass name. But yeah, it's probably
Alright.
it's probably way too much power. But as a meme card to make a promo, despite with the fact that the rarity says on it, I just didn't go back and make the rarity override specifically for these promos. I did it on the card number, just not the rarity override. As far as
I think it's funny that this has force, but like, even if this was a normal cost where it was like discard a traded character and then stand and swap two things,
I mean, it is that
I just
cost.
I just don't see them. I just don't see them printing this.
Yeah, there's no way in hell. I agree.
I
I don't think they'd ever print it. Do I want them to print it? Yes, this is cool as shit.
It
I don't
sh-
even think
if they did
I'm
it
not
want to get this
sure.
big, which is totally a fair issue with the card as it
I think
stands.
I think my problem with it is like, first of all, Hololive doesn't need this because they have Toa. And second of all, this is just better Toa that comes out earlier, and like,
Toa hits level twos and
yeah,
threes.
it's
Is the
cool
thing.
that it fucks on Eins, and we all hate Eins, but like, this also fucks on a lot of other sets. This fucks on Data Live that really needs its brainstorms. This fucks on like, Don Machi and Freerin that really want their brainstorms, right? This fucks on so many things without even
I
really
don't
like.
care.
I
I mean,
care a
like I do
little
care,
because it's
but
like
because it's
it
never
just
actually gonna get printed, a cool card gets cool. Yes,
I
question mark
guess
from me.
I just think that because it already has Toa, like this is just gonna make people who don't play Hololive mauled. Like it's just oh cool, one more thing that Hololive can fuck us with.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I think
absolutely
for
it
that
would.
reason I'm gonna give it a no.
Yeah.
But the card's really good. I think it's a good card, but like no, it's a no from me. Sorry,
Did,
it's a no from me.
have you played against Star Wars Blank at all?
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
Have you? How is your
yes,
experience
yes.
feeling with
James plays Star
Force?
Wars all the time.
Okay.
Star Wars is like an extremely scuffed set because all of the traits are all over the place
Yeah.
because they did it by like movie instead of just by like Star Wars trait. Um,
Yeah. God.
so a lot of it's weird, but when it comes through, it's like very annoying. My guess is that in a more like well put together thing with tools, it would probably feel a little more oppressive. Honestly, I haven't had any sort of like gripes with it because it's so flavorful and it actually has a cost. This one, you do have to exchange characters standing, so if your opponent like doesn't have a front row, like they time machined or they crashed or something,
Hmm.
you still can't drag their brainstorm forward.
Yeah.
It's not like grappling hook.
Yeah. I
And
didn't.
incidentally, this and grappling hook together are like the ultimate kill combo. Because if your opponent has a board, you use the Oz key, and if they don't have a board, you use the
The
toe and you
Toa.
drag that motherfucker forward.
And the Toa can
Oh
hit twos and
god.
threes, which this can. So the Toa hits things that this can't.
Yeah,
And they're still probably small
yeah,
enough for this card to kill.
your gadget's like, oh no, they don't need this. They have Toa. And it's like, no, Toa's the partner for this card.
Partner in crime.
Oh god, no, please.
That's mercy.
Yes, 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 yes. Actually, do I? I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool, and that's why I'm
It's
giving it the
definitely
yes.
cool, but like no.
Do I actually want it to exist? Probably not, but it's
No.
cool enough to where.
He
Oh, by the way,
definitely
I'm gonna
wants to
make everybody
exist.
mauled that made it this far into the video. I've never seen Star Wars.
Huh,
Wow.
that's fun.
Have you at least seen the Clone
Okay.
Wars?
Or I have not seen any Star Wars. I've not seen Lord of the Rings. I've not seen
Oh
Harry
my
Potter.
god.
I'm very nerdy into like the things I'm into, and then everything else I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like it.
Honestly,
Like
I mean,
anime,
look,
pro
listen,
wrestling,
perfectly fine.
as like
kaiju
somebody
stuff.
who's like halfway into like the Thomas the Tank Engine fandom, like some of those guys are like really into it, and not just because of like the trains with faces things. Like they'll go and build their own model train layouts. They'll go to like meetups. They'll go to like the UK and do a rail tour.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they're already
but
in
like
trains.
yeah, like some of those guys don't know what like Attack on Titan is. Some of those guys don't know what Star Wars is. You know, like it's fine. Some people just get focused in on different things. You know, it's not a big deal. I love White Schwartz, but my anime watch list is like 2 pages long, and I haven't watched any of them because I'm like on the scale of 1 to 5 for anime. I'm like a 1 or 2. Like I watched Kids WB growing up, so I know what Yu-Gi-Oh is, and like like oh god, what even other like I don't know generic shonen anime cool. And like I've seen Yowamushi Pedal, I've seen Madoka, I've seen Food Wars, but like I haven't seen any of the shit that I play. I've never seen Mushoku Tensei all the way through. I just like playing White Schwartz, you know? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't think there is anyway. I'm probably going to get judged in the comments. Hey, speaking of the comments, if you're made it this far in the video, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe to J3 Puffin, and leave a like.
You have
I
so
was
much
watching
shit
Scooby
to
Doo
talk
today, and I
about.
realized I forgot to call to action at any point in those. So make sure you do that because
You did it end up blue.
yeah, I guess I did,
Finish
but
it.
like
You did do it in the blue.
whatever. J3 works hard to edit this content, so please give him a thumbs up and share the video with your friends who play West Shorts.
Yeah, you have so
we
much
play
shit to
West
talk
Shorts.
about with your friends on this set, just like mold together. Speaking of molding, let's talk
Who
about
knows? Maybe your unbalanced custom set will end up on our show one day.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do it.
We'll talk about the end of blue. All right. Speaking of things to talk about,
boy.
let's talk about Bijou.
All right.
Colon
I
B.
think this one.
Do Bibu tax?
Oh, it's a replay text. Yo, let's go. All right.
it's not.
We got it. This card's called
Not exactly.
colon D Osaki Bijou.
Shut up.
On play, you can pay one, ditch one, search your deck for a VTuber Hololive character, reveal it, add it to hand, shuffle deck. When your other character is placed on stage from hand, if that character does not have a marker. Your other character is played. If it doesn't have a marker, you may put this card face up underneath it as a marker. Alright, and then we play accessory. If this card is face up underneath a character as a marker, that character gets 500 power for each of its markers. Okay, cool.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I have. Wait a minute. Pause. Everybody pause. Do you remember that card 2 slides ago?
Yes.
That got a whole bunch of OSKey markers?
Yeah.
If you. This card can also go into that OSKey.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And also give it another 500 power per marker. This makes this OSKey get 1500 per marker and can gain 5 markers immediately.
So that puts it at like 16,500, 1,600,
I should have
Something
muted
like
myself.
that.
Oh god.
16K with no effort. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Alright, so S rank broke. Don't print this. Please don't print this with the ASCII.
Yeah, I actually think this. Okay, so like, this card's like maybe it's just a vanilla drop search.
Yeah.
This
is the thing that it does. It is a drop search, and it does.
This is how I'm rating it. Like in a vacuum, it's like a B, but like in the context of ASCII, it's like a S plus.
Yeah, and I think I
like the fact that it's also the grades you gave it are BS.
Yeah. Yeah. Accurate.
That's pretty good.
So
I actually want them to print a card like this for vanilla Hololive, but like I think this card's like, oh god.
So like Advent's thing, the thing that Advent is doing that isn't Flamoco, which also does marker shit, is mess around with markers. Specifically this accessory mechanic, which is literally like turning your Weiss characters into equip spells, basically. Not all of them can make themselves into markers. We're going to talk about one in a few cards that doesn't. But the idea being that other cards in Advent go looking for markers to grab. So Advent's thing, in like a set context, is marker up and do some crazy shit. The exact lineups on these, right, they're weird. I ended up playing... basically combo lineup. I ended up just doing a pure blue thing, so we'll get around to those. But there was also messing around with like playing the Flamoco stuff in some ratio with that, just because like feels interesting.
Broken, because it's broken.
But the reason this is the reason this is accessory. Originally, I was just gonna make it a bijou thing and jewels, but also because they're all like dirty crime boys, right? And the like accessory to a crime being a term for like someone who like helps out.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yo, can you put on this slide somewhere S tier flavor?
Yeah.
Yeah. My text box isn't big enough to put. Yeah. Accessory is crazy. We love accessory.
Yeah. I also
All
think
right.
this is just a cool thing. Like we Spyro's talked about like he loves his markers and his Xyz material, and I love the idea of just like we get like actual proper like Xyz material text and ways. So yeah.
Yeah. So, hold on. Just before we move on, I know this is a different game, but like, do you remember Yu-Gi-Oh?
Y'all
Like,
remember Yuga?
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
has a whole
Xyz
archetype of
material.
cards.
Yeah.
No, it's worse than that. So yes,
Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh
no.
has an ability called Xyz Summon, where you can like take two monsters that are the same level and overlay them, and then special summon a monster from your extra deck on top of them, right? But there's an archetype called Zodiac, which lets you
Yes.
you can you can Xyz summon this card called Zodiac Broad Bull with two level 4 monsters, and then when you Xyz summon him, you can detach a material to search your deck for a card and summon or a monster basically, right? But then all of the other Zodiacs and just overlay from your extra deck for free if you have a Zodiac on board with the correct amount of materials, and then like they all gain attack equal to the combined attack of all the material underneath of them. This archetype has like 6 or 7 extra deck monsters that all have hard once per turn effects. So every turn during your turn, you can go Broad Bull into board into not board bow. It's Broad Bull into like Broad
Shotgun.
Bull into Hammer Kong into Dryden into Broad Bow into this Tiger Mortar, and then like and then you have an unkillable thing past turn. And so two of those
Which is
7
exactly what
Xyz monsters,
Sharon tried to
the
do
the
with it.
Searcher and the Papa card are just banned. They're just on the ban list. So I am going to cautiously say this card is like probably fine, but like if this shit starts to go off the rails, I'm coming back and giving this one a straight S plus because the fact that you can scale your characters with markers, like it's already busted with the OSKey. If anything in freaking Advent makes this like any more stronger, this card's getting a straight S plus, and you're never gonna get to print this. Having said that, I do like that you can because I'm looking ahead to the next card, which is a pay 2 rest brainstorm. So in like I don't even remember what the other colors we've seen so far have, but in red so far tonight, we've already seen a card that can rest 2 characters, look at 4 at level 1 or higher, and now we're looking at a rest 2 brainstorm. Like this card's kind of the perfect target for rest because you can just use its ability regardless of its position. Just like whenever you play a character that doesn't have a marker, you can marker this.
Yeah.
It becomes kind of the perfect rest target for anything you're trying to do. Like, I arguably this card is just kind of a good generic card because you can play it, the drop search, you can rest it to do your effects,
Yeah.
and then whenever you play a character, boom, this card shoots underneath of it, and now it has plus 500 power cross turn permanently.
Yeah.
So like,
So
I don't know,
the
like
Yu-Gi-Oh
these
thing made
cards that
me
can
think you could do something like that to where instead of like just a drop search on play, you could be like pay 1, remove this card from marker zone search. Because this thing going underneath it as a marker means you lose an attack for the turn, quote unquote.
Sure.
But then you have like that Rene rest card, and you could like do that and then go under, and then you have a drop search that like at least provided value before doing it.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
if
Other
that
cards mess around with
that'd be
that more.
interesting.
Yeah, that would be.
It'd be interesting. I don't know if that's like how Weiss actually works, but I guess you
Yeah.
could just make it work.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know if
Just
because
say
this
this
says
works.
because it says face up under it as a marker, you technically could have it do that.
we ever have the accessory doing
Sorry, go
that.
ahead.
So the idea of like it would probably just sit in the accessory zone. Like if this card is a face-up marker underneath a character, that card gets the following 2 abilities, and then it'd be like the continuous, and then it'd probably be auto when this card attacks. Pay 1, remove the name card from your marker zone. Drop search.
That'd
Something
be
like
pretty
that.
cool, actually.
Yeah.
Accessory sounds like a cool mechanic. I like that.
Yeah, I think I do a pretty good job of fucking around with it in this set.
but also broken with
Also,
Oski. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
All
Also,
right.
shout outs to Ron Elm for coding the replay text that way that he did because it lets you do cool stuff like this.
Yeah, the fact that
Yeah,
it doesn't
thanks,
default to like
Ron.
replay stuff, yeah, it's super helpful. Right.
All right.
Speaking of that brainstorm.
this is Interrogation Vestia Zeta. It has Act, Pay 1, Rest 2, Flip 5. For each climax, you can salvage a Hollow ID character specifically. So that's first, second, and third gen. It's almost like subtext up here. Like the Hollow ID is just all the ID gens.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like reminder
Presumably, that's
text.
also future proofing for any 4 or 5 or
Not.
however long they go.
I'd have to update it because it's not as written. But at that point I'd change the text to something like the Kansai collection cards, where it's like they have cards that say if you have like Destroyer in their trade or something.
Weird.
Yeah.
This other effect is pay 1 sack a Hololive or VTuber character from your stage, and rest this, check 3, choose a Hollow ID specifically, reveal it, put it in your hand, and the rest to waiting room.
Yeah, that act effect should probably actually check for the event too, but I don't think I had considered that at that point. I'd probably go back and do
I'm
that.
just gonna say, thank God it doesn't hit on everything.
Uh-huh.
It's on characters.
Yeah, no, dear God, can you imagine? Yeah, no, this was specifically like there's definitely several cards in this that are just like, please, for the love of God, play Hello ID. We gave them finishers, we gave them combos. Just please play ID. Because people.
I mean, Hololive loves Rene, and then like everybody else gets some sus stuff.
Yeah.
Can somebody remind me, does Hololive have Rest 2 brainstorms?
No, not really.
Probably not.
This was basically a gap one of the gaps I was filling was throwing
Yeah,
out
so,
Rest 2s.
so here's the thing about Rest 2 brainstorms. They can rest any two
Other
characters, which means they can technically go.
Yep.
They are repeatable and can technically go infinite depending on how often you plus. You might think that normally that doesn't have any implications, but like Hololive has Helmet Kanata, like a card that can ditch one sack self to salvage anything, so that you can like play down 2 of those, do the bond effects, the 2 Kanatas, and then you can like rest them with this to brainstorm and then sack them off to get incidentally other cards that you might have milled. Hololive has Fuka Zero. Like when it hits the waiting room, you can like ditch one, look at 4 at a level 1 or higher. So like if you rest that with this and before you play over it, that fulfills the cost for this. If you instantly want to brainstorm, like.
I'm not even thinking about like playing over the Fuka Zero. I'm thinking about you play down the Fuka, you do the rest 5, and you know those times where you don't have your Marine climax and you need to refresh so you can try to find your Marine climax? You have this, you do the brainstorm, you mill 5, you just salvage a ID character because it's a card in your hand and it still has Hololive trait for Marine's cost, and then you play Marine, you sack the Fuka Zero, you do the Fuka Zero effect first, you refresh your deck, and then you check 3, and then you find your Marine climax, and you end your opponent's life.
That's so good.
You can't. Yeah, you can check through with Marine, but you can't check through with this because this only adds characters.
Well,
right, but this card milled 5 first.
Yeah.
And then you sack the Fuka Zero, you rested with this effect.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Or you do the act effect where you play 1 Fuka Zero down, you use that to sack the Fuka Zero. You mill 4, check 3 that way, add an ID character, then play a Marine to sack the Zeta off.
Yeah. Yeah. The other line, which I didn't even realize, is so this card has a rest 2 effect and a rest self effect. So if you're playing, I don't know, like let's just hypothetically here, Kanata Marine, you can slam 2 Helmet Kanatas, rest both of them to mill 5, salvage an ID character, then you can ditch the 2 Kanatas off of this, and you can still rest this to look at 3 at another character. You can only add ID characters off of this. But you know which character is a Hollow ID? That's right, it's the Reina Rico from set 2. So you can just incidentally grab that and then use that to grab any other card in your waiting room.
Or the Rene early play, the new Rene early play, which actually extends Kanata Marine's reach because it's an on-play burn 1.
Yeah, that you could grab that as well.
So you could grab that. So you're talking about the helmet, right? the card that changes
Yeah.
into Kanata does so when you play the climax, so you can rest those two, salvage an
yeah.
ID character,
Oh,
then change them, then change
that's
them into the Kanata so they can
sick!
still attack.
You can get the freaking Anya
So
to
probably a very good
search for
reason
your
they don't have a rest 2
Marinor.
brainstorm, because
Yeah.
actually it might be
Might be
broken in
broken.
Hololive.
Even with the
You,
not being able to give every hollow character, yeah, it might still be broken.
I'm gonna do
I
something
never.
else here that I normally do. I'm gonna check Hololive set 2 and see if there's any counters.
Oh,
Hololive.
like a hollow
I'm
a hollow ID counter. There
gonna
are
check.
counters in Hololive Indonesia, but not like great one. Like all the
The
all the like utility counter cards are definitely in other places. Like there's like the Yofi from Premium Set 1.
I mean, Gen 3 barely has any cards to start with. So.
Yeah, it's just
I know,
swimsuit
that's
right
why
now.
I'm looking.
But ultimately, it's like sometimes you just need a card in hand,
Yeah.
and like Rene having like first off, she gets all the good shit, which I personally don't mind, other than the fact they made fauna irrelevant. But anyway,
Yeah, so
um,
there's this EOFI counter in the premium booster that you can get. Yeah, okay. And
in the
it's a green
Kanata
it's a
deck,
green Adachi! It's a green Adachi, so it goes with Kanata. Sick! You can get this card!
you can get the counter. They also print that card
Searchable
naturally.
counter.
Actually.
This isn't like insane or anything, but like it's pretty freaking cool.
Dude, I don't know. Like in that deck specifically, with all the change and shit, and just like with Marine in general,
Yeah,
it might be.
this might
Even
be.
if even Hollow ID locked, it might be too good.
Because it can grab the Rene. Like, it can grab the Rene Rico, you know?
It can grab Rene, it can grab the other Rene, it can grab
Got the
the
other
early
Rene.
play Rene.
Any
It
Renews you
can
want.
grab the counter. It can grab like there's got to be some other like hot stuff that the ID girls got, right? Like I remember the Zeta level 1 being like pretty good from the new summer thing,
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
but
Yeah.
I haven't read it in a while.
Oh, you know, the
Oh,
ID
it's just
event
a
can just...
it's just a Hambo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
just a Hambo. You can play in the
That's
Kanata
playable in
deck, sure.
Kanata yeah. You
It's
know,
not big cross turn, but that's okay.
the ID event can get any character from your waiting room as
Oh
long as it's...
fuck, you're right.
No,
The
no, it
bridge.
can get any character. The Hollow ID can
Brick,
get any character in
dude.
your waiting room. If you choose to get the Hollow ID, you can give a character 1k, and it just also coin flip refunds the stock. So like, oh, and you have to have 2 or more Hollow ID characters. So you can just play this brainstorm in one other card, and then boom, you're good. Yeah, this might be an S.
It's like
Okay, yeah,
you
it's an
locked it
S.
down and it still doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's so silly. That's so
Yeah.
dumb.
Alright, ambassadors that we have released, not the
You were actually cautious with this card,
And it's
and
still
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the power of Hololive, baby. Caution. Yeah, we try. It's funny, like you see the places where like I tried to do like a little bit versus the stuff where I did it. And it's like even still.
I'm honestly just with blank on this. You know how you were like, damn, I want the Star Wars card, and I was like, fuck no. And now here you are like, yeah, this card's probably too good, and I'm like, bro, but like Rest 2 Brainstorm though. This is my one of Tekken Levi waifu. It's the Irwin Brainstorm that's a Rest 2, because that deck is like, you just sometimes you just go Turbo Plus and you get enough stock that you can do it. I wish I had a deck that could play these stupid Rest 2 Brainstorms, and Hololive is like the deck that could. But yeah, it probably shouldn't exist. But like, yeah, this is one that I want. I want to try this. Just stick it in my veins, Bushi Road, please.
Zeta's a cutie, so I would not mind if this was printed.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
mean,
saw the
look at
first
this
time I
card.
ever saw Zeta was in the PGH summer collection review or whatever, and I was like, "Yo, who is that? I like her."
Oh yeah, I remember that whoever was on there as their like other guest was also having similar reactions to some of these girls. I think maybe actually Andy was that hadn't seen a couple of them, but I
He
think
usually
I think
blind
someone
reacts
else
to
too.
those.
Yeah, she's great.
Zeta's a cutie.
Yeah.
That's to Andy. That's to Risu. We're not gonna see her in this one, but maybe next video.
Oh, you'll see Risu in the next one for sure. All right. Speaking of a
Thanks,
character,
Rudy.
speaking of a character we will see.
I already hate this card, by the way.
Yeah, you have every reason to. If you have another copy of Through the Looking Glass Crazy Ollie in your center stage, this card gets 3,500 power and the following effect, which is when this card's trigger check reveals a climax with door in its trigger icon, you may choose your character in your winning room, return it to your hand. It's also a climax flip. So this is a 5K with the Kaguya card, whose name escapes me. That's like their 3500 oversized. That's when this card's trigger check reveals door climax salvage. Swings at 5K if you have another copy of it.
I actually don't think this is that insane
It's like,
because it can't search out another copy of itself. Because if you get two of this, you're like high rolling.
yeah.
And like if your opponent high rolls you and then you also trigger a door, you're just like uber high rolling. So like the max
Yeah.
potential on this card is like insane. But in a regular game, like how often are you opening two of this and triggering a door and having enough targets that early for it to matter?
Yeah, it's not a card that easily gets you early game. It actually scales pretty well later into the game though.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it
that's
does
why
swing
I'm
at level 1 power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could run
Like,
this
if
in
I'm-
like a Rene Marine deck as your like.
If I'm playing Chloe, I'm slamming 4 of this immediately, and this is my +0. Hear me out. If I don't get it at level on turn 1, I can play Mio, and then Mio gets the copy of this that I'm missing. And then turn 2, I have 2 5Ks that my opponent can't answer. And if I happen to trigger a door, I get to go +2.
You're
If I
assuming
trigger
your Mio
2
doesn't get
doors,
bombed, I
I go
guess.
I don't know, maybe. In Year of Our
Also,
Lord
like-
2024, there's like most of the bombs in the meta are 1Ks. Mio's not gonna get bombed, is it?
I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah.
I guess because Chainsaw Man lost their 500 power bomb, they are playing a 1000 power bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just so like this card doesn't read correctly to me. It's a 5K and it has a second ability.
Yeah,
Like-
the another name in Center Stage, as Azure Lane has proved, is like a 4x multiplier. I paid
Oh my
1,000
God.
power to do that.
Oh my god! Don't invoke the name of Fuso here. You have no power here.
The name of Fuso. Fuso will come for your soul because it gets your soul.
Oh,
That's the
God.
plus one soul
what?
it gets. It gets your soul.
Yeah.
Vanquish
You know what's
soul,
frustrating
your
is like
nose.
I don't disagree with you. I get it. I get it. I ain't laughing, but I get it.
Yeah, you don't want
God, I
this
hate
card,
this.
but
Like if this
I don't
was
know
real,
if the
I would
card
play
should
it before.
exist. I still think I don't like the design space of the card.
oh
But
yeah, the design space is toxic.
I don't
as
think
hell.
this card would actually see play.
I don't know. I think you're right. I don't think it's like an A+, but like it's close for me. I would say it's a B+, and I'm giving it the no. Like, do you remember last time we talked about Scooby Doo, and you were like, "Damn, I would rather play this 3500 that can give me a hand filter than play the 3K runner because it sits bigger." And here you are, like, "Yeah, this card's fine." This is the fucking biggest level 0 I have ever seen.
It
like,
matches
yeah,
my
but
Ferretta.
There's a
Yeah, but that
whoever
card
the
has 2
hero thing was.
downsides.
Yeah, this
It has
is
2
only
downsides.
Yeah,
upsides.
but like this card's normally
Oh, and he's gone.
a
All right, cool. I
1500
can stand
climax
out for this.
swapper unless you're high rolling.
But it's still a vanilla climax swap. It's still a profile that you wouldn't mind playing 2 copies of, incidentally, and it just does this also. Like,
Yeah, but if you don't, so later in the game, you have better cards to be fielding than this.
True.
Like a
Sure,
lot better
ideally.
in Hololive.
but this
Like
could
why
potentially.
are you ever fielding this? And the thing is, it doesn't get this first ability unless you play 2 of it. It's taking up 2 of your front row slots.
All right, so you hard mulligan for it. I think this
You
card's
hard
just,
mulligan
like,
for it just to not trigger a door, and like yes, it's massive. Like it's probably too big, which is where I find the design space problem.
Insane.
If you
If you
trigger a
trigger-
door, you were salvaging anyway. How often do you have actual targets worth a damn that early?
Maybe I'm coping, but like you hard mulligan, you discard all 5 cards just so you can make sure you either have a copy of this in hand or waiting room. You have the Rene Rico, so you can always get this from waiting room whenever you need it. There are tons of ways that the set has for you to confirm top 2. So you like if you know the door is there, you can just go for this, and if it's not there, you can choose not to. Again, it's a climax swap. This could
why are we
this could
okay?
also
But why are we wasting deck
this could-
slots to do this? To do a
because
salvage?
you're all
Like who
because
cares?
you're already going to be playing climax swaps. This is also a card that you can just slam 2 copies of in your deck, and if over the course of the game you get 2 copies and you just happen to find the door, you get to salvage 2 characters, and it's just 2 incidentally a front row slot that you have to like. It doesn't matter. It's a free salvage 2, and then you get to pay out the
Dude.
climax later because it's just. I
I
don't
could see
think
this being play in the Rene thing we saw earlier, but I would never play this in Chloe.
I mean, you have to be playing 8 door, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think there's enough ways that you could make this work in your favor that I think it's fine.
I wouldn't
But
waste the deck slots. Like
I would.
I'd play a better climax slot. I'd play the Koyori. The Koyori gets a soul in the center. You want to talk about stuff being cats?
Also, the
I'll just play a
Koyori
card
is
that gets a soul in the
undersized.
center.
The fact that the Koyori is undersized too, because they printed the exact same card in Quints, but at the 2K instead of 1500.
That's very funny.
Yeah, you want to talk
Because
about?
they learned.
You want? No, they just did the math wrong. Because the Quints went. I don't know. I'm not doing that. We're moving on. That's my fauna rant. Let's move on to the next card, which is also a climax.
All right, whatever. You know what? Screw it. I won't read it. I hate these cards.
Let's say
All right, so
I love Fuomoko. I just think their cards are broken.
Yeah, they are.
I already didn't like these guys.
Don't think, just jump. Don't think, just jump. Don't think, just jump. Yeah.
It's on play. It's a ditch climax salvage. It's a climax swap. Okay, and then if it's face up as a marker, it gives. Oh my fucking god! 500 hexproof.
Okay.
You have to find
this
a
card
way
is
to mark it.
almost broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this had the bijou accessory
Uh-huh.
effect, I would have said no, this is never allowed.
But
because
it's-
all you would do is you'd play as
Play
many
as many
Oskis as
Oskis
possible, and then never,
Oski can't get this as a marker. Most
Never.
of your stuff can't.
ever do anything but other than marker Oskis from your waiting room.
Yeah.
If it
I
had the
think there's a
bijou
more important
effect, this card would
thing
be
you can do
insane.
with this. Is there any way to get this under your stupid Fuomoko twin trouble?
No, not the Fuomokos. There are other
It's
advent
going to be
cards that can
specifically
get it.
other advent cards.
Yeah, but not
Yeah, but
those.
those are
Fuomokos.
advent cards.
Yeah, not those. They don't have the
Yeah, but
ability to just
but not.
blindly grab. And
I'm assuming it's something in blue.
Well, okay, hold on. I say that one of your copies can get a copy under this if you play. It's starting at either level 2 or level 1 with standby out. You can't do it at level 0, but you could do it if you waited until level 1. Stand by it out a specific card. Except no, because it doesn't get a marker when you stand by it. Now,
Yeah.
there's ways to do it. It's just it's not worth doing. I don't think.
I mean, look, if it's easy enough to give a level 2 that you summon at level 0 hexproof,
Yeah, it's not.
but even
can't
so
summon
that
at level
even
0
scaling
to
to
do it.
level 1, your opponent can't answer it. Like,
It's either like a hell of a workaround, like level 1 hypothetical long play thing, where like your opponent also just has to be like not doing shit to you, or it's
Yeah,
just
I'm
you
gonna-
do it at normal time, level 2.
I'm gonna give this a cautious C+ because, like,
I mean, Hololive
I
has
don't-
so many climax swaps.
Yep,
yeah,
And so-
like the only
This is
reason
like
I'm
an
giving it
advent
plus is
only
that-
climax swap.
exactly.
Yes, and if there's anything that breaks this, it will 100% be
Be an
advent.
advent.
That's why it's getting the plus. But
Yep.
like, oh god, you freaking jump scared
although-
me there. Seriously, God. All right.
Do you think I was gonna write ban on it?
No, I
It's
just
a
this,
bow.
this card-
The fact that it says
we've been at
hexproof
this for
on
an
it.
hour and a half, and like this card is oh god. All right, so this is a 2,000 power shining diamond Koseki Biju. So when Sparkling Jewel of Emotion, which is a door, is placed in your climax area, if you have 2 or more other VTuber Hololive characters, look at 4. Choose the Advent event or a VTuber Hololive character from among them, reveal it and put it into your hand. Choose one of your other characters, put this underneath it as a marker. And then while it's a marker, that character gets. When this card is front attack, you can ditch a card from your hand. If you do, return the Biju from under it to your hand, and it gains 1,000. Okay. So effectively, this is a Maguro at level 0 that can marker itself under something else, and then while it's a marker, that card gets like this fake like JC like ditch card saver effect, but it allows you to recur
The
the
combo.
Biju.
Yeah.
So this card was already kind of playable in Spy Family with a different secondary effect. The fact that you can like play this at like 2 lanes at level 0 and get like these under something stupid like the Coco clean cut,
Oh, yeah.
right? You could just like dunk 2 of these under that and then ditch 2. That card goes up to 5k and then you get to add them both back. I guess the clean cut's a bad example. Like, oh, that did you put Black Panther in this? Like the on reverse salvage character ditch one? if there's a 3500 card in the set, like your opponent is trying to scale over it, this card can get up to 5/5 and then also recur itself. Like, I think this is the frustrating thing is like, you could argue that this is a more playable Maguro than the freaking Ayame from set 1 because it can easily recur itself, and it's also on a door.
It's also not limited to 1 or higher cards.
Yeah.
Right. It's also not limited to red either, and it can get the freaking event. Like, this card's like
too good.
this card's really good. I hesitate to say that it's stupid, but this is reading very strong already.
It reminds me of the Project Sekai one. It's on a bar. It checks 4, adds a character, and is a spammable search brainstorm. So you just find multiple copies of it immediately, and you just slam that every turn because it also activates from the back row. The other thing is like, stop. Okay, don't stop because I actually like level 0 combos, but every time I see a 0 that says top check 4 on it, I'm just like, poor Fauna.
Yeah, it needs it should not be the fucking Project Sakai effect for that. Like, it's the only thing that it's doing, which is that combo and then the sort of like weird turn everything in your hand into a backup that recycles this. But like, I agree it should not be specifically the top 4. You're right. There's other lower level, like lower power combos this could be that it would still be perfectly good with.
This could be Lisbeth. This could be like Miltop Salvage X.
God,
and it would still be completely fine.
Hololive doesn't need Lisbeth, so now walk it back.
I was about to say that might be better than check 4.
Yeah,
because that lets you salvage your whole waiting room.
Because Hololive has all of the zeros you'd ever want. Yeah, like no.
At the very least, it doesn't need either of these though. I mean, the other thing that we forget is like the puzzle and dragon combo like got banned, didn't it? Like level 0 combos are playable in anything.
Yeah.
Like you prefer to play this in a red deck since you need red to play the door, but like you can effectively play this in whatever deck you want. So that means any deck in Hololive just gets access to a Maguro for no investment at all, and it's a Maguro that can recur itself.
As long as you play the door, yeah.
Yeah.
What I will say is like the second effect like gets dunked on by Blink, but that's like anything with markers, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep, every Advent thing gets dunked by a Blink. Yeah, everything gets dunked.
Unless you put the Fuamoko under it, and then it's hexproof, and you can't fuck with it.
That's the one exception. And then you free run it. Then you free it. Thanks, free run.
All my homies love free run.
Pat's Fern.
That show made me cry a lot, actually.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna bump this up to a plus, and the reason for that is we've already seen 2 cards just in the slideshow today that have benefits off of resting other characters, and this card doesn't have to rest itself for its effect.
Oh, that would be a good balancing thing. You're right. If it's
so like you could just play this with the Rene or with the other Brainstorm we saw earlier, like as a secondary back row card. Like if you're not planning on doing your front row combo, you can just slam the door, get the mill 4, go plus, and then put this under a character, and then you have it to recur later.
I don't think I'm gonna
fix this.
I don't think I'm gonna A+ this or whatever. I think the main reason that this card could get held back is like door is not nearly as loopable as the bar one is in Project Sekai. I think the combo's cool, but if you do not have combo, this card is a vanilla 2K do nothing.
Yep, that it is.
So I think this is where I'm at.
I think that this set has Anya, and I don't
If
care
you're
that
waiting to level 2 to play this, I don't think it's good.
I don't care that it's level 2. I'm just saying that it adds the consistency, and I think that still keeps it up there.
I think you have better door combos to be playing as well. Like the Rene has another utility effect on it, and also still activates from back row.
Yeah, I never found
slots for this. This is just another instance of you just punting level 1 to play like 3 lanes of, I don't know, Clock Encore, and then just have this in your back row. I mean, you could even argue that if you really wanted the deck speed, you could field 1 or 2 of this in your front row and just get the plus off this and then send it under a character for compression or whatever. I think the card's fine. I think it's balanced well. I don't think Hololive needs it because I think I said it before, like this pushes out so many other strategies at level 0 and 1 that I don't think that it would be good design
So
space.
here's where I'm coming from with this. In this same color, on the same trigger, we have Rene. And while Biju's, I keep wanting to call her Bibu because everyone calls her Bibu.
Feel free.
Bibu's combo is like better, right? It's better than Rene on like a fundamental thing. But because Rene has all this extra like shit going on with the rest 2 stuff, I don't think this card would see play outside of like an advent thing unless this event is like turbo, like completely nuts.
Yeah.
Because but even then the Rene can get the event off of her other effect. So even in if you want to play this advent event, it might still not matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I just think like the floor of Rene makes her the pick over this card. Also,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Bibu tax, so
All
like
right.
that meme in particular, I'm not a fan of.
I was definitely hating on it for a while, but it's one of those things where you hear it enough, and it just, for me at least, it was like, all right, you know, fine. It's Biju's cute enough.
I just stopped clicking clips with it on it. So.
Understandable. All right. Well, this card grabs an event. This is the Advent event. The ad event, as you were. So this is a 1/1. If you don't have an Advent character, you can't do it. Choose one of your VTuber Hololive characters. Put this card face up underneath that card as a marker. That character gets plus 1,000 power till end of turn. And as its accessory effect, auto. Pitch card from your hand to your winning room. When this card is frontal attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose this card and up to one of its markers, and return those cards to your hand. So
you're like 80 to 90% sure there's no way that you can gain markers other than the advent effect, right? Or not advent effect, the accessory effect.
The only way to get markers, like you can't get generic markers. The only way to get markers that I know of for sure are cards in this set that specifically let you, which are the Bijou, this card which specifically does it, and well, a couple of Bijous. I guess every Bijou has a way to get itself under it except for one of them. You know, the low level ones, that's what they're designed for, because Bijou is, you know, a jewel. But yeah, outside of cards that put themselves under, and one card that basically has inheritance, which is itself and one marker.
Oh no.
But that card's level 2.
Okay. I'm reading ahead a little bit just because I'm curious. Like, see that card you were talking about that has quote unquote inheritance. It can get any advent character.
Sure.
So at level 2, you can get any character and then use the event to recur. Any advent character, and you can use the event to recur any advent character. I haven't seen any incredibly busted advent events, and also that character's at level 2. I think this is fine. It's like you play this in the advent deck, but like I don't.
Yeah, so outside of like
I'm just gonna rate it like this.
Outside of like a super heavy advent strategy, like if you just had like, I don't know, the advent brainstorm in the back to enable this, it's like a pitch 2 across 2 turns to have like a power pump and also the ability to just save whatever. And because it's the only other, if it would be the only marker card, you'd be able to add itself back, so it'd be like loopable. But so it's like a pretty, so it goes pretty minus, with the trade-off that you can just kind of like pick whatever to be like, all right, if you come for this, I'm just gonna save it. So if you have something you are really want to like loop or save, this is the way to do it.
I think it's cool because the Bibu combo like loops itself already, kind of like it already saves itself. I'm not sure what this goes in, but I'm sure Hololive can like break this. Like I'm like what combo feels like really good when it's looped? Like do you think you'd fit this in like Chloe? Like you just don't even have to play the Rene 1/0, but the Rene 1/0 might just be better because you don't even have to pay a stock to loop it at that point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I don't know what this goes in. I think I'm with Gadget on this. I think this is like a sure.
I'm like glancing through blue, and I'm still not really seeing any marker payoff except for that level 2. So like.
Okay, so question: Do you guys know the Chainsaw Man Green event?
Yeah, the
The
bullet
Gun
thing.
Devil
Yeah.
event? So that card is really interesting to me because technically it does nothing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also like an infinite hand engine.
Yep.
So this is a way to like potentially cheat hand size a little bit. So I don't know if there's anything cool you could do with that other than like make the Aqua. Congratulations, Aqua. There we go.
Honestly, yeah.
Um, just a little more consistent because her things like discard two, right? Like anything that
Yep.
is discard two or just like a high hand cost, you could like cheat hand with this kind of.
Yeah.
I never found a use for it in Chainsaw Man specifically. What you would want to do is you'd play the event, you'd give a characters a bunch of power or whatever, and then you'd refill your hand back up to 7, and then you'd quote unquote have like 10 hand to work with next turn. But I never found a way to
I
like
see.
snap that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
also like I guess slotting green isn't hard, but then you have to like figure out how to get these in your hand because like the Chainsaw Man one didn't have a bonder, I don't think at all.
No.
It wasn't blessed like Easy Revenge was.
No. It got to be the common rarity event, if I remember
Every
correctly.
freaking Aki and Himeno card gets stapled Easy Revenge to it in some way, shape, or form, and then it's just like, oh, there's this Gun Devil event that's like kind of cool, but kind of doesn't do anything, but kind of does do something.
Yeah, there's not a.
You have to like Kanata Man from set 1, and even then it's like still pretty mid.
Did you say Kanata Man?
Yeah, Kanata Man. The early plays.
Katana
you know?
Man. Katana Man, not Kanata Man.
I do love
Dude,
the
now I'm
image.
just imagining Katana Man just being the biggest Kanata simp like imaginable. His entire room is just filled with Kanata merch.
It's yeah. You just see like a few chapters later in the manga after whatever fucking thing Fujimoto is doing right now. And you just see like Katana Man's got like some secret shrine that he's just hasn't been showing people with images of Kanata. And it's like, you know, I know that Pochita killed VTubers, but I still remember. But yeah, it's a card.
That's funny. So like this card has like stuff it can do, but I'm not sure
Where you do it.
if it. Yeah.
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 I don't know either.
I also still want to try to figure out that Chainsaw Man card, but that's another story for another time.
Yeah. All right. For this story, we move on to another Zeta card.
Alright, our first one was pretty good, so this one better be good. Because you've set a very high bar for us here.
It does things.
Okay, so it's a 1/0 2500. I'm already sus. Oh, good, it has a soul trigger.
Yeah.
Alright, well, this
Are
card's
you
placed on
fucking
stage
kidding
from
me?
hand.
Hollow ID.
This placed
Hollow
on
ID Gen
stage from
3 does
hand.
Soul Trigger stuff, yeah.
Oh god. Oh no.
No.
Okay. So on play from hand, reveal
That's
top.
not allowed.
It's an event or VTuber Hololive character. This card's soul does not decrease by side attacking, and it has on attack pay 1 twin drive. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's
She's in your walls. She's in your walls.
So if you put this into a Gura deck, you have a card that A, can pay out any triggers, B, you can side with it and you don't get direct attack back, which is something that deck actually can struggle with sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And lastly, you know how many soul triggers that deck plays?
Yeah.
This card without Climax is swinging for 3 most of the time.
Yep.
Mm.
Wait, no, it'd only be without Climax it's swinging for 3? How is it swinging for 3 without
Well, you have
Climax?
1 and then you have 2 soul triggers because you trigger tech twice.
Okay, there we go. You're right. 4 with a
Like
Climax.
most of the time you're probably swinging for 3 with Climax. It could even be 4. Zeta's a cutie, but she's committing war crimes with this card.
Just like she is in real life. Shoutouts to the
That
real
makes
one.
sense. Dude, like this card might just like if people were still on the standby version and not like they didn't switch to Callie, they would probably take Callie out of their deck for this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because Callie has to crash sometimes. This card basically never does.
Yeah, no.
And like, yeah, it's small, but like whatever.
This card's also red, which helps you play into doing more standby things at level 1 if you're playing Asukigura.
And if you're worried about like the soul situation, it has twin drive, so you're not even like losing any damage by not playing a choice. Now the deck speed thing is a little bit different, but
Yeah, a little bit.
like
Yeah.
you're playing Standby Gura. It's like
Yeah.
this card is nuts. This card is bonkers actually. I like it a lot. Outside of Gura, I think I would still consider it in some things,
Yeah.
just because like the side attack without soul is something that I've played a lot with Zombieland Saga. Although that card could do it from Waiting Room, which is why that card ended up being way too good. And then like because the condition for siding without soul penalty is still just looking at the top card of your deck, it doesn't even just hit on the ID event, it just hits on any event.
Yep. Any event
It hits on
Wow.
any event. So you could play this in basically anything you wanted to, as long as you can fix for red.
Yep.
You know, Blank, I'm starting to see the lines here. You know what card we've already talked about, which is the perfect partner for this? It's actually the Kayla Kowalska. So in theory, in theory, you could play 8 2-soul Hololive and have the climax you're playing be a payoff for this, with Kanata being your top end, and then you just play a bunch of off finishers.
Kyla
So your level
Kanata.
1 is just your level 1 is just 2 lanes of Kayla and with 1 lane of this, and this just like hits them in the face, and it's probably hitting them for like 2 to 5 damage depending on how your triggers go. That's just like the line that I'm seeing with this, with like the 8 2 soul. But to your point, like I said it before in the Pikmin review, when you have like cards with soul triggers on them that are like okay, there's never any downside to putting them in your deck just as random 1 or 2 ofs just to make your deck do more damage. Like I would play this in Chloe as like a 2 of, because if you happen to twin drive and hit a door, then you're plussing. If you don't hit a door, you're going to probably hit a soul trigger, deal more damage, and then also you're always going to be dealing like again 2 to 4 damage, regardless of if you front or side.
So
I don't know if
because
it's
Chloe
like an
has
A
that
tier
like
card, but,
Chloe has that like
but-
check if it's X or higher you stock it. So that has
Some of
like
the
that
target.
coterie level 1 kind of synergy where it's like you're gonna push yourself closer to triggering, and then you can put this on the third lane and you have a twin driver that like guarantees you pay out the door. And then also it doesn't lose its lane because it's going to be siding for free. And like because it also does the top check beforehand, you can see if you're going to hit your stock with Chloe first. Like,
Oh
this
my
card's really good. This card's really good.
No, that's getting the plus for sure.
I'm giving it the yes. I want this card.
Yeah.
I don't.
I would take the soul trigger off on it if
So
I was actually
Gura's
gonna print it, but
So Gura's
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
But like outside of Gura, I don't think this card becomes a problem. I think this card becomes just like really good, and I want to play with.
Yeah.
I love side attack without soul penalty. Like I love side attack without soul penalty.
Because you like gambling.
Yeah,
gambling for damage.
at some level, this set was definitely thinking of a world where, you know, we got hit with a JP ban list kind of thing that took Gura kind of off the map. And we got Gura reduced. I know that some people are still going to try to play with 2 Guras in their deck somewhere. And if these cards existed, they'd absolutely be able to, for a number of reasons.
All right.
But like,
Hey guys,
yeah.
you know how we said there wasn't a hollow ID counter?
Yeah, I made one. We can talk about that now.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. I looked at the next card and I was like, oh wait, that's Kayla. Oh, shit.
Tell us about this, Kyla.
No.
Also, the flavor
I mean,
text on
it's-
this is fantastic.
Get some help.
I mean, it's memory kick. I'm just reading this to make
It's-
sure it's not anything other than
It's
memory
not.
kick.
It's not memory kick backup.
It-
It's not memory
Oh,
kick
it's
backup.
not. It's,
It's a.
if the level of this card's battle opponent is higher than your opponent's level, you may put the. Oh. Okay, so wait a minute. When this card becomes reversed at the level of your opponent's battle opponent. Oh. Okay, so
This is weird.
To be,
Yeah.
just so everybody remembers, the counter we saw earlier that was a ID is the Yofi, and it is a clock Adachi and is a 2500 counter. This card is a memory Adachi and it's 2500 power. So
Okay, I
yeah.
see.
cool. I guess it's fine.
I got really confused for a second. I thought you just made
Yeah,
a
I
memory
did too.
counter weaker.
No.
Yeah, I had to read it twice. I was
Okay.
like,
Do you guys know those counters? There's a few of them. The one I know of most is Lukoa. It's a 1500 counter and it has pay to heal, but the pay to's on play and not on backup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Why would you make this backup like
I
not
don't
worth the
know.
shit? But then they printed a good version of it in JoJo's because JoJo's has it's a 1/1 2K counter, so it's 500 power more than the Lukoa counter. And then you pay an additional one, discard one, and it's heal on backup instead. And I was
Wait,
like, yes, finally
JoJo's
they
got
printed
it?
one of these right.
Holy fuck!
JoJo's got it.
Oh my
Yes, JoJo's
god!
actually got a character heal counter.
Holy shit, dog!
Hooray.
I need to go find that
It's
card
also
and print it in
on
something.
the krill or the plankton or whatever, which
Wait,
is very funny.
oh my
and
god, it's
flavorful.
on her?
It's on Foo Fighters, yeah.
Let's fucking go! We stand Foo Fighters in my house.
I'm
So
a
the
marine
character, not the
biology
band.
nerd, so I definitely stand Foo Fighters. But
God.
All right.
but also part 6 was kind of sus. But anyway,
Well,
I don't know what to
Get outta
rate this,
here.
by the way.
I credit the
I
end
have
of
no
part
idea
6.
what to rate this.
I know what I'm gonna rate it. Here's what I'm gonna say about this. The Iofi is a clock Adachi, and it is 2K. This is a memory Adachi, and it's 1500. I think clock Adachi in the current meta is more relevant than memory Adachi. So while I think this card's cool, I think that I'm gonna rate it a C minus because I would rather play the Iofi. The only notable thing about this card is that it's an ID character, so you can get it off of that combo we saw earlier. But like the Yofi already
Oh,
is
it is,
that,
yeah.
and it's got a better Adachi condition on it, which
Yeah.
I think is more relevant.
It means
You
you
could
don't
argue
have
that
to
this
play
being
green.
red makes
Yeah.
it more playable with the Kalas, but like it's a counter. You don't need to fulfill color requirement to play backups, so like it's not a big deal that the Yofi's green, and
Unless you want to do the Adachi effect.
yeah, but like you could find a way to
Okay.
put green in your ID deck. I just those are my thoughts. The card isn't bad, and I'm going to give this a yes because more counters is good for Hololive. Why not? Sure.
I very much disagree with the sentiment that Adachi is better than Memory Adachi. I think Memory Adachi is very good. Hard removing a character permanently is insane. Like bottom deck can get searched out, clock can get healed off. In fact, clock can be denied, which is something that can happen with early play healers.
Yeah.
This card can't get denied. Like, yeah, I'm assuming the Eofi is a 1/1 because the
No,
Azure Lane one is a 1/1.
She's a 2-1.
It's a 2-1.
Okay. Whatever. I much prefer this because I just don't have to deal with whatever it crashes into the rest of the game. Clockadachi being able to be manipulated for it's
think-
just not like what does a Clockadachi do better? And it's like the answer is
See,
nothing. Clockadachi is
think
like the
that-
worst one.
Maybe from a JP standpoint, memory is better, but from an English standpoint, there aren't enough decks that can build memory that even if you're hard removing a character permanently, the fact that you give your opponent compression by doing so, I think is legitimate downside in the English meta right now. But
Okay, but if you're playing this into, let's say you're playing this into Kanata instead, or Rushia. Rushia's got so many ways to get that Rushia back.
They can't get it back from memory.
If you send it to memory, they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like the things that this is actually important for, the Adachi effect is important for. Memory's a permanent removal.
Yeah.
I don't know how JP players feel about this. I don't know how English players feel about this. What I know is when they started printing Memory Adachi and Memory Anti-Change, I felt like I had to play so much more careful of when I play early plays and like if this card is like crazy important to my strategy.
Yeah.
Because like Ari Feretta has the Memory Adachi that like basically never sees play because the UA is always bouncing back to your hand.
Yeah.
But in like the human deck or whatever, where you're trying to sit big at level 2 and heal or whatever, I feel like that card loses to the Memory Adachi and also uses the not the Adachi, the anti-change very well because it's trying to sit big and hold board and whatever. And any card that could like kill the thing that you're trying to keep on board, you can just like send it to memory and you never have to see it again. Clock is one of those things where it's like, oh, I might not even work. Like a Clock Adachi is better than a Clock Anti-Change because the Clock Adachi swings first, so it could stick a damage to then send it to Clock. But Clock Anti-Change is like sus. So I don't know, like compressing one extra it to get rid of a problematic card where you're actually willing to pay the one stock to play an Adachi down is why I just prefer the memory ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would personally play this over the Yofu for sure. If I was really gonna play into this like super hard, if I wanted to play all ID cards, I wouldn't really want to throw any green stuff in if I didn't have to. So just keep this thematically keep it two colors, and the fact that this is just like you said, that better removal effect. That when you want to get rid of something, you want to get rid of it hard. So being able to exile it basically instead of delay it so that your opponent can recycle it again, which nowadays is easier than ever and sometimes is super beneficial depending on what you're hitting. Like, yeah.
In Kanata or whatever, like you're looking, what are the things that are going to answer you back? And like one of the big one was that President early play in Kaguya. Kaguya is very good at recycling that card and getting the stock to do it if they're playing the level 0 combo. You don't want them to have multiple turns of like clock kicking your Kanatas. So like playing down this, and yeah, they might clock kick your Adachi, and it's like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. But they need experience 4, so it's possible that they leveled this, also leveled one copy, and then you send one copy to memory. It gets a little bit harder for them to like dunk on all of your Kanatas and mess up your entire game plan by just,
I don't know. I still like the AOF better, but you guys made valid points.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's move on to more ID cards.
Fair enough.
More Ollie.
This card is called Early Ghoulie Courage Ali. It's a 2/1 with a soul trigger. You can choose the Hollow ID event with the effect of your door triggers. The event is the 1 cost salvage a ID character, and then if you reveal top and it's a 0, you can stock it. We talked about it earlier. It's a 2k assist to level 3s, and act. You can pay 1, ditch a card, rest this card, look at up to 3, and add anything. I think this card is crazy. I don't think it's broken, but I think it's crazy. I love this card. This is like the perfect card to play into the Ollie strategy that you're trying to, like the early play Ollie strategy, because it can mill 3 to potentially mill you an Ollie, and it can add anything, including potentially the Ollie door.
And you can fetch Ollies out of your hand.
Also true. Yep.
I mean, the other thing I thought of was just like, again, like we keep bringing up a Kanata Marian. Like, this makes your Kanatas quite big. You're playing a door, like you might want to play the ID event if you want some extra selection. And then this on your Marian turn giving you an extra like dig is very interesting because you can pay 1, tap it, look at 3. I still didn't hit my door, and then you play a Marian, sack this card off, check 3. And it's like, oh, now I did find my door. And
yeah, I think so. The one downside I see about this is it's not really a downside, but this card is anti-synergistic with the Fubuki early play. It lets you early play the Hachima.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is not a card that you can tap down, right? You have to tap down the Fubuki early play assist and the brainstorm to get the Hachima out. And then Hachima wipes your board, so even if you played this afterwards, like you would still be losing your board with Hachima. So like you'd have to like play this out later. But by the point that you have the Hachima out, you would already want your 2 Ollies in the waiting room to summon with your Climax combo. So that card doesn't help you there. So this has to kind of be played in its own deck without the Hachima. But in the current meta, the reason you would want to play Ollie is because of the Hachima Field Bomb.
Yep.
Dark Hole bullshit. So like I like this card a lot, but I don't think I can give it higher than a B- because it's weirdly synergistic with specifically Ollie. I guess here's a question. What strategies does this enable for Ollie by existing? Could you play this in an 8-door list with Chloe and Marine? Could you play this with...
That's what I was thinking of.
Ansa, or
you could run like a single copy of the Ollie door.
Or like... Oh god, what do
you also know how sometimes if in Kanata you just can't find that stock soul again to do the second one. This is just like incredible for that deck in particular.
Yeah.
I can't give this lower than a B+ just for Kanata Marin. Like I swore off that deck after Chicago, but if I had all this support with it, then maybe.
I mean, I swore
Chicago
off
like
I built
2 years.
I can never
Chicago 2 years ago. I lost to a freaking Bang Dream player that, dude, I'm never gonna live it down. I'm never gonna forget the fact that I lost to a Bang Dream player after he had a direct attack, a card that could side attack without soul penalty, and the first thing he did was front into a card, and then I anti-changed his direct lane, and I still ended up losing because
Yeah.
he quintuple canceled my Marine turn.
Oh my god, I know that feeling. I know that feeling so well.
Round one of Chicago, like I was tilted, and then I ran, and then I misplayed into a Madoka Magica player, who slammed the
no.
4500. He slammed multiple 4500 no backups cards versus me, and I was just like, I don't know if I can do anything about this.
Oh my god.
That was round two, so I started out Chicago 2. The Madoka one is my fault. The Bang Dream player, he misplayed, and I still lost because he got lucky. That's Weiss, ultimately.
Yep.
But yeah, like this card getting stock souls again is like pretty good for that deck. With this behind it, you play the Choco Brainstorm. No, not Choco, Coco Brainstorm. You have 2 contests sitting at 13, which is like
Oh wow.
pretty nice for that
Yeah.
deck. That's before backups, so that's like sick.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else in this we've looked over that like synergizes with these, but I guess there really isn't.
Yeah, my thought
Oh
was
my
that
God.
this
It's okay.
just goes for like a like I kind of had this in mind for like a Gen 2 8 door deck because all of the Gen 2 stuff is door. So you could play like some combination of the Rene, the Ollie, and the new Anya door, which we'll talk about closer to the end.
Dude, I see a
Oh,
freaking
another
standby
one.
in a few. There's a standby in a few slides, and I'm very scared.
The only standby in this
I
set.
I did not read the combo yet, but I am terrified.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's a
We'll get
door
there.
finisher. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
All the doors in here. There
We
had
can
to
get
be
through
one.
this. We can get through this. Promise.
All right.
Ooh, can I read this one?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love Chloe. First off, I love orcas.
Oh, hold on a second. You didn't rate the previous card. I guess we want this, right?
Oh, do I want it? I don't know, cause like playing into Kanata Marine is a nightmare.
Oh,
But-
yeah. This is true.
Like,
Damn, now you have to
Uh,
clear 15k with Kanata because they can hold up counter and have this card behind them.
you gotta clear 16k with Kanata.
You can have the Coco Brainstorm too.
Oh god, yeah.
You know, a card that could clear it.
I don't know.
The era, huh?
I still want it because of Ollie, but whatever, it's fine. We'll get it
Okay.
someday. I'm sure Buku will print it eventually.
Oh my god, there is so much potential with this name. That I'll explain to you off camera because it has to do with pro wrestling lore more than Hololive lore. This is the Cleaner. Sakamata Chloe. All of your VTuber Hololive characters in front of this card get X power. X is equal to its level assist. This has this is bond to the darkness finisher or the Iraha finisher.
Uh-huh.
Holy crap, this
All
card,
right.
that Iraha is going to sit so big.
Uh-huh.
No.
Well, actually, no, we want it to sit small so we can crash the 2 lanes and have the one big one in the middle. That's how we discussed that card.
Yep.
Correct.
And then this one is pay 1, put 1 card from your hand in waiting room, return this card to your hand. Wait a minute. Oh no. Oh no. Dude, what did you do?
I printed.
What did you do?
Here's the best part. Here's the best part. This most of these effects, right? There's a Suisei from set 2.
Yes, there's a card that exists like this, but the problem is it's not with the great performance, so you can bounce the side lanes to get
Yeah.
the great performance up.
Yeah.
No,
Uh-huh.
this is not allowed. You can't print this, dude. What are you doing?
I got one Chloe slot in this set, and when I was making it, I was like, I don't know. And then you guys went off as hard as you did on the ear, and I was like, oh, they're gonna hate this.
Oh boy.
Dude, I love Chloe so much, but this card can't be printed. The Irahad can't be printed, but like this
Yeah,
card
the
with the
Irahad
Irahad
definitely can't be
definitely can't be printed.
I feel like if the Iroha wasn't as insane, this could be printed.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
if this was just Bond to the Darkness, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, the Iroha is the situation. Because,
The Irahad is the problem. How do I feel about that Suisei card? Because I've played that card before.
Have you done like the start end thing? I haven't gotten around to it yet.
I've early played Aqua and attacked with it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Although I did get the early play condition wrong for like most of the time I was playing it.
Oh yeah,
So
same.
that's besides the point. I thought they needed to be in level, and I just I was like, weird. This card doesn't say experience on it, and it's like, no, they have to be on stage, dumbass.
I got the restand part of it wrong for a long time because I thought it was like restand the center stage cards. Like, no, it's restand herself. Whoops.
No,
That changes a lot.
so I didn't get that one wrong because I've
You
played
guys are wrong.
into Kimono Friends before, and Kimono Friends finisher is like when the center slot
gotcha.
attacks, restand the card.
Fascinating.
Kimono Friends is a very interesting set. Like it has some incredible
Alright,
tools still, but all its combos suck. I'm gonna
I have
go
just-
that.
Alright,
Sure,
Alright, so we
has
both
Chloe
rated
on it.
we both rated the Iroha as an S. Like that card is definitely a no. Like can't do this. No, fucking no, don't do it. But like if it was a different finisher, you know, this card bonds to the Laplace. It also incidentally bonds to the other level 0 that we saw because it's also Laplace. You know, so you can get those from your waiting room.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
get it.
funny actually. You can actually do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get a playable card or a non-playable card depending on how you want to do it. I think that the bounce back effect is fairly costed for a level. You have to bounce this card, right? Yes, you return this card to another character.
They did good work on that Suisei.
Like the effect is good. The effect is synergistic with other things in Hololive. The other thing you can do with this is like we're all like molding because the Iroha finisher is insane, but like this also makes the Aki Rose from set 1 more playable. That performance as well.
I don't think
So
there's-
I think that this deserves to be good. I don't know. How do you want to rate this? I want it for sure. I think it's like I would play one of this in my 8-door deck so I can get the resonator back.
Yeah, I was about to say like just bonding to the resonator alone with this other utility effect, other 2 utility effects
can-
is like pretty nice.
You know what? The Chloe level 0 that's like, okay, once she hits the waiting room, you can get the resonator back, right? I hate playing that card. It's just a 1k that doesn't do anything. Like, I could slot this into that slot instead because the only card that you need the resonate for early is the Chloe. You don't care about the finisher. Like, I don't know. This is a more playable card that if you happen to be having a bad game, you can still recur this over the. I don't know. It's whatever. The main thing about this is that you can pay one, ditch one, bounce this, and save one of your Chloes, so you can keep playing them over and over again. Like I think that's really cool.
Well, ultimately it is
and,
pay.
like,
it is pay 2 discard one because it's a 2/1 card. But yeah, like Chloe builds
that's
enough stocks where it
true.
probably doesn't matter.
But the other thing with this is you could play this in standby. I don't know what you're saving with this, but you could play it in standby. I don't know. I think it's a B+. Like, I normally hate playing assist profiles. This one at least has a reason that you would play it, which is generic. Like, if your assist profile can, like, rest, self, ditch a climax, salvage a character, or, like, when climax is triggered, ditch climax, do effect, or, like, do something like this, yeah, I'm gonna 100% looking into it, you know, like, yeah, what can I do with this, you know? I want this card.
So Gadget, just so you're aware, I don't know if this changes your feeling about getting the resonator back or whatever. In the summer booster, they printed an on-play bond to the resonate target instead of the on-death Chloe one.
Oh yeah, the Laplas in there is you play that over that Chloe every day of the week because it's also a helmet.
Oh snap!
With Laplas on it.
It is
It's
also
a
a
Laplas helmet, which is a helmet that you can use to turn on your event if you're a Mad Lad and play that like I absolutely would.
Which is very, very unfortunate that I have to take a Chloe out of my deck and put a Laplace in it, but that's besides the point.
Not all of this can be Laplas enjoyers.
You can still play the Chicken Nugget Laplace to get the event. That's kind of nice.
Stupid card.
All right, should we talk about this Louis?
Yeah, this should be a
2/1 combo. Let's see here.
people may recognize this profile.
When this card attacks, if the character facing this is level 3 or higher, this card gets 4,000 power and a soul. I will explain where I love this effect from later. When this card attacks, if the door is in your climax area, choose a VTuber Hololive character in your waiting room, put it in your stock, reveal top card of your deck. If that is a Gen 6 event, the Hollox event, or a, the global trait character, put it into your hand. The first time I ever played this card, I had to overpay to play it because it is a Kamome promo. that is like just that first line of text.
Oh Lord.
So it,
Oh
but it's the
God.
only way I can answer early plays in Kamome waifu. So-
That's fair.
and I love Kamome. She is my pirate princess. This is cool. They've started to tone back these 2-1s so they can't sit big cross turn, or they have like not as much selection.
Yeah.
There's the Neru in Blue Archive. You have to blind stock at Encore step, so you can get Memory Kick to block your Climax combo. And the stock is not inherently clean. There's the Sakia from Shiny Colors that is on attack, but it only sits like 7k defensively or something. But both of its effects are selective, but it's on attack and does not sit big cross turn. So they've started to scale these back, so I think this becomes like an actually viable option as long as the Muron situation stops getting printed. The Muron slash Alice slash whatever other
Yeah.
combo.
Stop
So
the
I was gonna say
mirror.
it's hard to give this a high rating with it being compared to those other things that can like go +2. This card's like a +1, sometimes +2. Even like the early play versions of this combo, like Gil Thunder, can sometimes be a straight +3, even if you're resolving only one. So like even that's arguably better than this because you can play it at level 1 and that gives slightly more utility. I think that because this is a level 2 combo, and with all the cards we've seen in this set in particular, there's a lot more upside to playing this. Like, you remember the freaking Musashi from Yellow that can turn anything at level 3 into like double Musashi, right? Like, that would be just a justification for not playing a level 3 finisher. The Ozki stuff we talked about earlier, that would be incentive for not playing a level 3 finisher. All the off finishers that you can play in 8 standby, right? All the Luna crap, all the Ozki crap. There's enough justification for you to potentially slot this in as a level 2 combo to go into a level 3 turn that just Unga Bunga plays a bunch of off finishers. That I think this actually has a place. I think I would give it like a C. I'll give it a C plus because I think it has a home in Hololive. I just don't know what it could possibly be.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing is this is kind of competing with Kanata for your level 2 combo slot, but
Yep.
And Rushia. But
Mhm.
it also swings into those cards better.
It is a 12k with 2 soul that you can start playing at level 2 into your opponent's early plays.
Yeah, and your opponent can't anti-change
Because you got the you can always
oh,
you can anti-chain them
because you're a level
And-
2.
and you can cancel their
and-
backups.
so the thing is, normal level 3 killer profiles like this only sit big. This card having a soul means against certain level 3s that you don't want to front attack,
You can side it.
you could just side into them for very little penalty because you're probably going to be playing a higher self trigger count with this card.
Yeah, you're probably gonna trigger a
Because
soul
you're
soon too.
Hololive.
One. Yeah.
I
Or
don't
if you're
know.
playing
Like
that
I
Kayla card, or what is it? It's not Kayla, it's
Zeta?
Zeta, right? Zeta at level 1 with the twin drive and the soul trigger. Yeah, that's a.
actually I want to play that card into all these early play decks that rely on backups. I'm just be like, I'm gonna ignore you the entire game, thank you.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm still gonna kill you.
Oh boy.
It's like my favorite thing to do in the day I became a god. You just slam a 2-soul and you say, well, I don't really care how big you sit. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna do my shit anyway.
So I have one last piece on
Anyway.
this card because I didn't I put it only as an equals where most of the stuff that I have put in this set is pluses. And that's because this idea was done already basically with the Revue Starlight Karen level 2 combo, which also is the one that goes into their like level 3 game plan, whereas this is just kind of like a standalone level 2 that's being a level 3 killer on a combo. So like it's not as original as I would hypothetically like it to be, especially because it's the only Louis combo in the set. But I was like, I don't know what to put here, and this combination is something that Hololive doesn't have and would be cool to have.
Yeah.
But it has already been done, whereas some of the other spicy cool shit hasn't. But yeah.
It would be cool if this also like comboed off of like the Laplace choice or like the Chloe door. I get that you have it on its own climax because that's the whole point of the set, but I think it becomes more playable if it's off one of those other combos.
It could sit at like 6,500 base, but optionally hit off either.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But also, like, don't.
Chloe Louis, more playable.
I mean, it'll give
it's
you
like
more of an incentive
partially
to do it.
because I think it's like Louis deserves to have her own climax as part of the reason why.
Yeah.
I haven't watched much of Louis. Out of Holox, I've mostly just watched Chloe. But I feel like the whole point of this set was to give all the girls their own thing.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
like,
no,
just
for sure.
because a card exists in Review Starlight doesn't mean that this card is unoriginal or it doesn't have a home in Hololive. You know what I mean? It's like we had the interesting wind combo earlier. Like you can use that to like build hand while also attacking with like other things that might use that hand, which was like an interesting thing there. I think you might be disservicing your own thing. Like some of these effects are completely unique and like I've never seen the Bibu markers herself after combo thing.
Yeah, that's totally unique.
Also, wait, hold on. I need to go back to that for a second because I just had a thought. How do let me see this.
While you're looking that up, I was gonna say that having the Louis on a combo, which also went with Chloe, I think is fine because like Ruby already has that, and that deck is like completely fine. Getting to have multiple characters at multiple levels feed off of the same climax, I think, is good design space that they don't use very often. You don't want to make it too strong.
Yeah,
The Weiss
actually,
is like the perfect
Weiss
like
is probably
sweet
fine.
spot for it, where it's like you can sometimes go +2 in 2 lanes if you get the reverse in 2 lanes. This is gonna go +3 guaranteed, but you're gonna potentially get extra stock off of it as well. Kind of the same as Chloe.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, you know what? Hold
I
on.
wouldn't want to put
Isn't
that
this
on
doing-
the same climax.
Isn't this kind of doing the same thing as Chloe?
It's like reverse Chloe. The stock is guaranteed, but the hand isn't.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Chloe is the other
That's-
way around.
You know what? That's okay. That's a little bit on the nose, actually. Maybe don't do it that way then, because that's
I
actually.
actually
really
like
on the-
it because Louis and Chloe are constantly like butting heads with each other, so it's almost flavor that
Yeah.
they're inverted of each other.
Yeah, that's
okay.
true. And the fact that because Louis, like, unlike Chloe, Louis is actually able to like manage her own shit, so she doesn't need to resonate.
So well, it's like that, and she's a 2/1. But
Okay.
so this Bibu combo.
It's a flavor for this.
So this Bibu combo. I need to go back to this for a second.
Okay.
Because this is on Climax Play, if you feel this Bibu combo in the front row, and you do the marker part of it, you don't get an
Get an
attack.
Yeah, you know.
That's like not good.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't play this in your front lane ever. Unless
Then
you're
what's
not.
the point of the accessory ability?
Because it's a back row combo.
You
Okay.
can recur them.
I mean, yeah, but you could also recur them if you just left them in the back row.
Yeah. Also, if
but
you
this
do
way
the
you can
combo,
give
it's
your characters
mandatory.
1,000 power.
Sure. I will discard a card in my hand to do something I could have done by just leaving the cards in the back row. I thought, like, I was like, oh, okay, it's after it attacks, and I was like, wait, if it's on attack, then it's like, the damage goes away, because you don't even hit trigger step at that point. And then when I was on Climax Play, it's like, wow, you really don't get anything doing this.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what is going on here?
It's not a front row combo. You do not put this in front row unless it's like it's like Oski, right? You don't put that card in front row unless like you don't have any other shit going for you at the
Yeah.
moment.
Okay.
You don't put
Well,
Elizabeth front row either unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Actually,
Same
yeah,
space.
but like that card can still proc. Like that, I'm downgrading my thing to a B actually.
Yeah.
I think it's still good.
It's nowhere nearly as good as the Project Sekai one. Project Sekai can do this and then still attack.
It's definitely not as good as Anya, but I think it's still probably fine.
Yeah, it would be interesting if it was like beginning of Encore step.
I don't want to go through the card and re-rate it again because I already did a whole spiel on it already.
We have another Bijou to talk about anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
Behold.
Please be boring. Please God be boring.
Don't talk to me, I'm angry.
It's cracked. It's.
The card's cracked. Guys, the card's cracked.
Guys,
It's
it's cracked. That's cracked Bijou. Alright, if you have 4 more VTuber characters, it gets -1 level in hand, so 4 less early play. It's 1,000 for every marker underneath all of your characters. Wow. And then on play, ditch 1, block 2, stock.
It's Advent Suisse.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
interesting.
Suisse can be played without color requirement. You need red for this.
It's Advent Suisse.
It's Water Goddess,
And
sure, but it's not Suisse.
It's definitely not Water Goddess because the power's cross turned. I think this is just its own thing, guys. I don't think we need
you're
to.
Right. You're right. That is true. It is not Water Goddess.
And I was
Now,
just to say former
okay.
VTuber or Hololive.
I have a problem with this card.
As
You
you should.
definitely should have made this the heal to marker zone thing that Uma Musume got.
So I didn't know about that. But hearing
So,
that exists, I should.
I think it's a
Yeah.
Uma set 2 card, so the set's like technically not even out yet.
There you go,
But
that's why.
it
But
it
yeah,
it got a heal to I think it got a heal to marker zone card, and I was like,
if it did.
that's like rad. Now the weird thing about Uma is because all of their marker stuff has to either be done through inheritance or like this heal thing.
Mhm.
Their heal to marker zone actually costs a discard 1. But that has to do with how Uma gets markers and how their marker abilities are costed.
Yeah.
So you could probably get away with just a straight heal to marker zone with like a character on board condition or whatever. But anyway, this card as printed is like cool, I guess.
So here's my thing. We all hate Dragon Maid in this call because Dragon Maid is
No,
cool.
I
but
love Dragon
Maid is-
Maid. I hate the set.
Yeah, Dragon Maid is suffering. The Elma early play in Dragon Maid is also 4 more other on play heal, and it's 1,000 for every character in your opponent's backstage. So it's 10-5 cross turn. So for that
Sure.
card to beat Elma, you need to have 3 characters with you need to have 3 markers under your character.
Hmm.
Sure, your Biju combo gets you 1 marker for each time you resolve it. So that's like probably 2, but where are you getting the 3rd one?
Pseudo inheritance cards,
event.
the 2-1 that we'll talk about in blue, the event. There's
And I guess
other...
this level 0 can get it as a marker, right?
Mhm. There's
The drop
quite
search, yeah.
there's quite a few ways to get these markers.
Auto when your character is placed on stage from hand, if that character does not have a marker underneath it. You know what's okay? You know what? Remember how I said I was gonna come back to the Koseki, the :D,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
All right, so hear me out. You play 2 of this Shining Diamond Biju, right? And you put them in your backstage, and then you play 2. Shut up. we don't acknowledge
I
that
just
shit here.
heard the JoJo's character.
Oh, I thought you
The
I thought you said Pink Diamond, and I thought you were making a Steven Universe reference, and I was like, no, we
What?
don't do that here. But JoJo's is fine. JoJo's is
We-
fine.
It's also
Let me start over.
Right now.
So you have 2 of these Shining Diamonds in your backstage. You have 2 of this Koseki Biju in your front stage. You play the Cracked because you have 4 more now, right? You ditch 1 heal to stock. Then, because you played a character on stage from hand, you can take 1 of this Koseki Biju and put it under as a marker, which frees up another position on your stage to early play another of the Biju marker. You get to put the other one under as a marker, and then that frees up another slot, and so you get to play the 3rd one and heal the stock again. So you did all that for effectively 4 stock, and then you slam the door and you get to marker 2 more, and now they're all sitting at 12k cross turn. And that was all 0 investment. You didn't have to have any other markers already. You just needed to get the other Bijus over the course of your early game. Like that's pretty good. That does get you to 12k cross turn and heals you 3. Like it's not as good as Bochi, but it's pretty good.
That's funny. I like that.
I mean, if you play the drop search down, that's like technically a -1 because you lose the marker underneath the card you play, and then all your heal to stocks are costing you a hand as well. So I think it's like fine, to be honest.
Yeah, you need to be set up beforehand and have a ton of hand, but you do get to heal 3 times for very cheap stock. And more importantly, they're actually defendable cross turn if they're all 12k.
If we're doing defendable cross turn, we have like Rushia and Kanata and stuff.
That's what I was gonna counterpoint myself, because you're already doing that in Hololive with Rushia. Also, there's this card in
Or
Avatar
8 standby.
called There's this card in Avatar called Katara Desire to Help, which is a 8/5, 4 more early play, ditch 1 heal to stock on play, and then during the turn it's placed on stage from hand. It gains during your opponent's turn. This card gains 4,000 power.
Yeah.
So it's 12/5 cross turn for this basically the same amount of investment here.
Mhm.
Actually, cheaper investment, and that's in
Much cheaper.
that's an Avatar, which is one of the worst sets they've ever made, arguably.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's one of the worst sets they ever made, and then they misprinted Sokka, and then it became broken. But ultimately,
Yep.
like the set
Yeah.
has a bunch of scuff in it still.
Constantly
So like, I don't know. The fact that Katara is better than this, arguably, and the fact that Hololive already has a bunch of other stuff. Like, I think on paper it's like an A in the Advent deck. Certainly it's an A, but like, there's a ton of other things you could be doing in Hololive. I think it's like B+ overall. I'm the same rating, sure. Like you have to print this with all the Advent stuff for it to be worth it. But like,
I also think it's under
given
budget.
the Advent cards we've seen already, it's like fine.
It might
I don't mind
be under budget slightly. I don't know. I feel like the only card that I have to reference was the Elma, because there are not a lot of cards that actually deal with marker zones.
Yeah.
at all. Like, dear God, trying to double check like the working on this. At the end of the day, I was like, you know what, fuck it, this will be fine. But yeah, this
Also,
is,
what is? So sorry. The one thing is like 1K for each marker is technically scales infinitely, so like it's hard to budget that. I get that. I think it's fine where it is, but I don't know if it's playable.
I
But
can
like, what
price
is that
it.
flavor text?
Don't talk to her. She's angry. So this is the reason that she's cracked Beiju, right? Is that this is when she's she got a bit overloaded on emotions, and so she kind of goes like dark mode, like goth Bibu, because she has that little like hair attachment she puts on sometimes. It's like, don't talk to me. I'm angry. I'm goth mode Bibu right now, or something like that. So that's a card for that, and also just because of Jinx made the art. And I don't know if you noticed, but they have a few Advent cards in here because their art is great. If you learn nothing else from this video, go check out their Twitter if you're a Hololive fan. Alright, that's all I have to say about this card. Let's move on to the standby combo.
Holy shit.
You want
I read it.
you want to read it out loud?
Yes. Oh my god. Okay. If all your other characters are the global trait, this card gets 3,000 power.
Wow, 12K cross turn.
When this card attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is the Hollow ID event or the global trait, you deal the damage to your opponent.
All right, so it's
Now.
a Miki burn. All right.
Okay. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Climax combo. Pay 4,
Uh-oh.
discard 3, sack the climax.
Uh-oh.
At the end of this card's attack, if da-da-da's in your climax area, you may pay the cost. Deal 2, restand this.
Uh-oh.
This card. Why? I've been on only two set reviews with you. This is the second
Second
one.
time
And how
we've done
are
Marika?
both of you printing restand
Stand
on attack
Mark.
burn ones? Why are you doing it? Stop doing it.
I saw the slime
Millum?
combo. Yeah, the Millum. I saw the Millum. I was like, you know what would be really good on that?
There's a reason. What?
Yeah, this one absolutely doesn't need it too. This one absolutely doesn't need it.
It is like it's Marika, and it's like,
It's
oh, you can only do it in one lane. But then you added another burn 2 on it, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's not like Hololive is like in a drought of off finishers or like other cards you could extend this card's range with.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you can stand by this card on a previous turn to
Yeah.
make the cost even less by not having to play the card from hand.
Yep. And you can start doing this you can start doing this at level 2.
I do like that the climax isn't like a on climax play, pay cost, burn them for 2, and then stand this. It has to be end of attack. So like, if you're standbying this and you can't immediately stand it and then get start Miki burning them. But like, this card is so obviously filthy that like,
Yeah.
like why? Like let's hold on. Like let's be real here, right? Let's do some compare and contrast. So the Marcelin in Adventure Time, right? That card is a plus 3K if you have the memory condition. It's an 8K base. It has heal on play instead of Miki burn, so that's its level 3 effect. And that card's climax combo is, I think it's pay 2, ditch 2 when its battle opponent becomes reversed. You get to shuffle back. You're gonna read it.
I think it's shuffle back 2, burn 3.
Okay.
No. So it's shuffle back 2 guaranteed, and then on reverse,
it's on climax play.
Reverse.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's on climax
Pay
play,
2,
shuffle back
pitch
2,
2,
and
burn
gain
3.
15, and then pay
that's
2,
cool.
burn 3. Yeah,
That's cool.
but like that's all it does. And also, it's an 8K base. Yeah, this fucking card is a 9K for like an easier power condition. So that's already like a lot. The Bang Dream one with the Miki burn just stands itself and shuffles back 2. The other big one I was thinking about is Nino. That card also heals on play, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna check the stat line because I'm curious.
The card is offensively very big. I think it swings in at 12-5.
Yes, but it's only like 9K or 9.5 on turn.
It
is
it's
8.5. It is 8.5 on turn, 12.5 on swing, 8.5 defensively. But it is also a pay 1, ditch 1, just burn 3, and again heals on play. I guess it also incidentally has that thing where it gains standby in all zones, but like I'm just asking, like,
card
how
is
is this a
so-
9K? It's like so big for no reason.
So the on attack effect, I believe, is actually costed less than regular on play effects or regular level 3 effects. That's part of it. What's not, and I guess it's like I'm pretty sure that's one of the 500 power ones instead of one of the 1,000 ones.
Yeah, that's the only way that this slides by. Yeah, because if it's not, it's just straight up off budget. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ultimately, for me, the budget does not matter. Like I don't care. Like it's sitting 12K is like very stupid.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
kind of dumb.
obviously.
Ultimately, that part is not the card that's going to shatter this insanity that you've printed.
If Hololive just had Millum on standby, I'd play that. Because here's the why this Zeta exists, right? The Zeta exists because standby Hololive doesn't have off finishers, or it doesn't have actual finishers, because they don't have a finisher combo that they play in that deck. And I would like to. If I was gonna play a standby more, I'd like to have a standby finisher.
Right. This is a standby.
So I would play something like this. However, you're totally right that because now with the knowledge of Marika, yeah, this card doesn't need to exist this way. So that burn wouldn't be there, and the I don't know. I could actually take or leave the power condition on it. I could just make it Millum, but I would leave the combo the way it is because it's not strictly Millum because this sacks Climax, whereas Millum doesn't. Which is why instead of 5 pitch 3, it's 4 pitch 3.
So I actually don't have a problem with the Climax combo in this. I agree with you.
Oh yeah.
Like 8 Standby Hololive doesn't have a real finisher. Like you could play Nene if you wanted to lean into like some memory stuff, which I think is actually gaining popularity because of all the ban lists on Luna and stuff.
Yeah, I can see it.
But like they don't have like a finisher because Nene's still like a coin flip, right? Because it sometimes it just doesn't burn 3.
Yeah, Nene is
it just does nothing.
Nene is a actual like mid game level card. You know, it's not a finisher. This.
So you could like
Finishing.
this is like cool, and because you only get one lane of it, it's like beneficial and a hindrance all at the same time.
See,
that's
what I was going to talk about.
That's why I made a
'Cause
Marika, because
I don't
you only get the one lane of it. So I was thinking like the
It
other
doesn't-
two
it-
lanes would still be free.
No. It doesn't matter that you
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't matter that you only get one lane because the other two lanes are still getting reverse burn ones. Like this is my problem. I hate all of this. Like I get what you're trying to do, or having it be like, oh, I sack my Climax and I can restand, so I get 2 instances to hit the Miki burn, right? But like, standby has, like I said it a bunch of times. Standby has a fuck ton of off finishers, and you already printed that Musashi card that gives 2 of your lanes cancel burn X, right? Honestly, this should be Ghislaine. It's 8-5 if all your characters are VTuber, it's plus 3k. On play heal, Climax combo is standby, pay cost, burn 2. Because then you're incentivized to triple it instead of playing, I don't know, double Oz key with the on reverse burn 1 and damage scry and double Musashi effect on them as your 2 side lanes. You know what I mean? Like,
or you just put the Musashi on this.
Or you can put it on. But my point is, it would arguably be more balanced if it was just a straight burn 2, as opposed to what this is, which lets you play into your other really good off finishers with other incidental instances of sometimes damage. That's my main problem with it. Even if you make it a more normal standby finisher, I think even that's too broken for Hololive because of all the off finishers you can play. I'd rather make it so that you field 3 copies of this and just straight burn 2s, right? Obviously that's boring, and Michoko already has it, but I think that's what you need to do. Like, to give that a realistic rating, it would still probably be an S tier card in Hololive. The other thing, which Blank hasn't even realized, I don't think, is that this is an ID card, which means if you play the event, you can potentially have the event refund its own stock cost, and it gets you a character from Waiting Room. So if you slam 3 of the event and hit the coin flip all 3 times, this card the 3 events trade themselves for the entire cost of this Climax combo, effectively.
I would never play the event in this deck because you have to discard.
Oh no, you
characters
you do though,
and shit.
because if you sack,
the
if
event
you
cycles
rip
for those
the effect
characters
on the event in your main phase, you get 3 clean stock, you get 3 hand, and this card attacking funds the 4th stock it needs. So like if
no, I still don't run it. Because Mio is all the selection I need in that deck. Mio and Rene.
But
I would never
this is
touch
stock.
the event in this deck.
It's just stock. It gets you the.
Right, but it just
cleans out.
refunds the event. You would have to have the stock to start with anyway.
It cleans
I
out
guess.
standbys
I don't
out
know.
of your stock
So
that
so
would be there normally.
if you play 3 events down, you've essentially exchanged what could have been 3 characters to start with for 3 characters, and you might refund the stock. Because it only refunds on level zeros, which you're
I
a standby
guess.
deck, so you're playing less of that. I would not even bother with the event in this deck.
I don't know. I think the other thing about the event is that if you're keeping it with this effect, the event can also pump this 1k to make it even stronger.
You have Ozkey Global 15. You have Level Down in IMA if you want to try that shit out. You have the
Yeah, I guess.
3/2
It's
Miko
possible.
2k assist. Like, you're not hurting for power here. This 1k is not going to make a difference.
I don't know.
And
I
what
just
you're
think it's
saying
an
about
interesting
off finishers,
situation,
like,
but
I understand, but like you said, Ghislaine is boring, and I wouldn't even play it if it was Ghislaine, because I'd rather just figure out how to play Luna still. Or I'd play Nene, because at least that has damage scry. I can use it level 2, or level 1 even, because of the change thing now.
right, yeah, I agree with you. But look, you understand what I'm saying, right? Like, I don't think a card like this can exist in Hololive in its current state. I just think it's too much. But I also
Well,
know
in
that
its current state,
this
it
is,
should never exist at all, but...
I think Hololive is too supported to play a standby finisher like this. Just like any standby finisher they print has to be something boring like Ghislaine. Otherwise, it's like I don't know. You can't play a single lane of standby finisher in Hololive because there's too many other upside off finishers that you can play. I mean, we've
I
seen
mean,
it
I
with
don't even...
Slime's strategy was play 2 Benny Marus at the top end, and then 1 Dragonoid Milim, and then when the Milim kills the thing, you Drago Buster them for a game. Hololive
I
doesn't
never...
need to do that, but it's already set up to do that,
That's
you know.
that's also not
I've
the
never
thing
Drago
that.
Bustered anyone for game,
Yeah,
by the way.
that's not the thing that Slime does. Slime does like 7 bajillion things, and they're all let me stitch together a game plan at the end because I was Muroning for
Yeah,
the
but
rest of the day.
I'm talking
Standby
about
slime.
the
He's talking
deck
about
from 2
standby
years
slime.
ago. Like there's already a deck that does that. It's 8 standby slime. It's been around for 2 years, and that end board was also effectively a Luna, and this, and that deck was like tier 1 for quite a while.
Well,
At
I
least in
think it was really
JP. In English, it
popular.
didn't do quite as well, but
But even then, it was just like the problem is Mushoku came out, and it was just like I'm kind of a better standby deck than you because my deck control and shit's better, which made me really sad.
I don't know.
I'm glad Zeta got the broken combo, I guess.
That's
But
what I was
that's
about to
like,
say. Yeah, I'm glad this is Zeta, but like, please no.
She's
I,
continuing to come
yeah,
everyone.
it's like why, why do you guys keep printing this? I understand that it's only in one lane, but because you have this climax deck, you were like, oh, I can also just make it the straight up Milim, so I deal an extra 2 also and have 2 lanes of off finisher. It's like, wait a minute,
Yep.
that's not allowed. That's definitely not allowed. But I would totally run something like this in a standby, even if it didn't have the burn on attack,
Yeah.
because I've played a lot of that Milim combo. I top 8'd my first waifu event playing 8 door Milim from only set 1 cards, and I had to travel to Maryland to get the Milim promo
Damn.
that let me play the deck legally.
Damn.
Because she barely had enough cards. She needed that promo to have enough cards.
I'm thinking about like already because man, you're only making me actually want to go back and edit this shit, and I really would rather not because I don't want to have to go back and re-edit like code and shit too because I put all this in the sim already. So like I don't want to actually make this a thing
you
people
don't-
can print.
If
But,
you
like-
don't fix it in the sim, I will never play against Zeta. So
But like
maybe do that.
I don't know. I
But
might-
Zeta's so cute, though. Oh
yeah,
my god.
like I kind of want to
I
go
could-
back
I could
and make
play,
it like make this like get rid of the power condition, get rid of the on attack condition, make it on some kind of.
I could play Fire Emblem into it. If I played Fire Emblem into it, then you couldn't hit me with your Miki Burn because I can't take auto of 1.
Well, I want to be Mickey burning because that's part of what I'd be getting rid of. I'd be doing I want some kind of top pick effect on it.
Oh wait. I've got an idea.
She's a spy.
Do you remember the Nino Restander from
Yeah, I thought about that, but she's not a healer.
this?
Oh, wait,
Xana's
no,
not a
guys,
healer.
guys. I have no. I have the perfect idea. You can do the Nino restander with the Miki burn, so you get 2 chances. And you know what you could even do? You could put it on a pants trigger, so you could recur it like over and over again. You know.
No, I was talking about the on-attack heal thing, but if she's not like
I
a
know you
heal
were,
type
but I
of
was talking
person,
about.
but
Yeah, she's not a
you're
healer.
talking about making Marika again. Stop.
Because also the
I'm
heal.
talking about Scooby Doo.
Here's the thing about that. I don't think the heal effect is the level 3 effect on that card. I'm pretty sure it's the restand on that.
Oh, it is because the heals cost it.
Yeah, so putting that on this card would not fix the problem of we need
No,
something
just
to
make it
replace
really
the
big.
Market.
No,
There
it
is
just
no
makes it
level
really
3
big.
effect
It's a
in Boston
standby
Style.
card. Did they even get a level 3 card in green? Yeah.
I was just saying there is no level 3 effect on Nino. There just isn't one. PD
Which
card.
on the what? The fuck,
Right?
are, you,
It's
the
like-
fuck are you talking about?
No, I think it's just the restand is cheaper, and that's why it's level 3.
Yeah, it's
effect.
stupid cheap for a restand that also lets you heal twice. Card's
And he
actually
said
great.
that the Scooby had no level 3 effect. What a nerd. Learn to read.
Last card in.
Oh wait, this card's a double rare. Never mind. It's not the TD Nino. Lol. Okay, yeah, maybe that is a level 3.
Yeah, it's the fucking double rare plus from that set.
Lol.
That's sad,
Right.
actually. That's a double ripple.
Research.
Who gets to read this last card?
I don't want it, so.
Alright, I'll take it. What does this card say? I, the true blade, will simply cut without instructions or pretense. Oh, she's a Xenoblade character. Cool.
That
can
sounds
dig
about
that.
right.
Alright, finely tuned weapon, Anya Melfissa. All your other characters gain 1500. Okay. On attack, this card gets plus 2k till end of turn, so it swings at 11.5. Climax combo, pay 1, ditch 1 traded character. On attack, if you have Everlasting Knife in your climax area, which is the door, you pay the cost. If you do, this card gets the following 2 abilities end of turn. When this card's front of side attacks, burn 2 and gain 1k till end of turn, and then on direct attack, burn 3. Doesn't this already exist?
This is Chica.
Chica variant.
I'm so confused.
This is John. This is John from Ruby. Okay, yeah, Chica. Got it.
Yeah.
This doesn't heal though.
Nope.
I'm so confused about this card.
Why would I play this?
Because you wanted to play Anya.
Yeah, but why did you make her card bad if you want us to play Anya?
I don't think it's that bad.
It's
It's
I'm
It's
just
not-
confused of like why its level 3 effect is so anti-synergistic with itself.
it's also
Flavor.
overstated. I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
No,
When this card is placed in your climax area, if you have full board,
it doesn't
you
pay.
need
Oh, so this one is costed higher because you pay a stock for it.
it's on attack instead of on climax play, but you also don't need full board.
Yeah.
But I still think you're
Yeah,
no,
but
hold on. So the John is just the Chica. It's heal on play and then do the combo, ditch traded character. When climax is played, you get both abilities.
Mhm.
This is somehow 500 less, but it has 2 power effects, which means the climax combo is costed 500 less somehow.
The John is 10k and it has a healer, right? A heal is 1k, so the combo is 500.
Yes. Shouldn't global 1500 be 1k as well?
It is.
It's not global. It is give
Oh,
other,
But yeah,
which is different actually.
which might
That's only 500.
'Cause it's only 500 because the Benny Maru that you just talked about in that slime deck is a
10.
10-5,
Okay.
and its
Okay,
ability
yeah.
is give all other.
And then, but on attack gain
Thank you.
2k, that should also be like
1k.
That one's 1,000.
And the combo is 500.
okay, so that puts you at 10. God.
Yes, so technically the math works out on this, but I'm just so confused of why all this power is giving to Anya when there's no like on reverse requirement for this. There's nothing like spicy going on with this climax combo if it needs a reverse with all this power. It's just like it's missing a level 3 effect, and I guess that's okay.
I mean, for her, it's like she's a living weapon.
Isn't
Iron
the level
sharpens
3
iron.
effect-
So the fact that she goes, you put like 2 of this lane down, they swing it like 14-5, and then they all just have like 14-5, all with like front attack, pay 1, pitch 1. Which one? Deal 2, go up to
They're
15-5.
not 14-5s though.
Why
Yeah, they get
If you
free.
have-
They get
if you
3K
have-
to
no,
There
if
are
you
others. If you have all three, if you have your full board.
If you have 3 lanes of this, they're way bigger than that. Because they're 9-5, they gain 2k from skill, so they're 11-5. 1k from combo, so 12-5. 1k from climax, so 13-5.
Oh yeah,
3k
pick
if
up
you
the.
have full front row. So they're 16-5s on swing. If you only
So-
have 2, then they're like 15k. So if you double this, you're swinging for 15k.
If you do,
I guess that's
yeah.
fine because you can't heal and you don't get any other off finisher effect on this.
Yeah, she's just big.
I don't know.
She's big. She's cheap.
Why would I not just play Maureen?
You probably would.
So with this, what I think you could have done is instead of taking the weapon part of her as like big power kind of thing, you could have made her on play effect on play Musashi.
Or I could have put the Marika
And
effect
Viet-
on her. I could put
Hey,
the on
hey.
attack burn on her.
I mean, yeah, that's probably also fine. I think both accomplish about the same thing, actually.
Actually, yeah. Hold on, because that would be like 3-2-1. 3 lands of 3-2-1 for like pay 1, pitch 1.
Yeah, and hitting a top check.
That's actually pretty good. I like that.
Like,
But yeah,
I don't know.
I like.
I
like
would
the
rather
concept of
I would
Chica
rather
combo.
see cancel burn or Musashi burn since I know that already exists in Grisaya, but sure, I guess that's also technically fair. I mean, Heaven
Well,
Birth's Red's already doing crazier stuff than that, and we discussed that to death in the Scooby Doo review. Like,
the freaking Grisaya one is like way more stock because it's like Kokocino plus Musashi.
oh yeah, that's right.
Um,
Well, whatever.
So I like this being that cheap probably makes that card maybe a little too good, but
I mean,
like
look, it's Chica. It's whatever. It's probably fine. You could probably make it a little bit stronger, but different. The problem is it's on a door,
Yeah.
and any finisher on a door is going to be competing with Maureen. So you have to be as good as Maureen to justify your existence in this set. If we're being real, that's kind of like where I'm at with it.
although being on a door does mean you get to benefit from all the door support that Maureen also gets. So it's like
Correct. But like
pretty
yeah,
sick.
incidentally, the only upside this has over Maureen is like it's an ID character, so the ID event can get it. But as Blank established earlier, you're not playing the ID event, so
Well, that was for standby.
I was about to say you might play it on 1K1, but you definitely don't play it in standby.
I don't want to be mean to Anya because I don't think the card's bad, but like I don't think I can rate it higher than a C plus just because like
Yeah, I mean I'm on.
Maureen
I'm
is
on C
so
minus.
ubiquitous.
For one thing, I never enjoyed playing that Chica in the door choice build. I always wanted
Any
to try to make
other-
the 8-door Kaguya thing work.
Any other doors I'm forgetting? I guess Ollie. You could play this with Ollie. That doesn't really do anything for you except just annoy your opponent early.
Means you're gonna have all of Gen
Um,
2, all of ID Gen 2 all together.
I can't think of any reason to play this.
The one like interesting thing about this is if somehow you live cross turn, because again this card doesn't heal, it's easier to get the direct attack portion of the combo off. Because like the first one you're most likely going to be doing the burn 2, but on the direct attack you could start doing the burn 3 because quote unquote global 15 effect.
You know, have we seen a way to bump characters? Or like just hard remove them? I feel like we have.
The Iris on play effect is the king on play effect.
Yeah.
It's look at 3, rearrange, bounce.
Yo, remember when I said that card would 100% be banned?
Wait, hold on. We have other stuff to do that in Hololive already too, right? Because we've got like the
I was
boson.
about to say there's plenty of bounce stuff.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, Hololive doesn't have this Iris yet. And so like the thing is, you with Iris, it's not just an on-play bounce; it's an on-play bounce and top 3 rearrange. So if you have this, you can give one of your Anya's a direct attack, right? And have her trigger 0 so she doesn't overswing, and you're gonna get them for 3, right? And then the other ones, like this, just makes your finishing board better because it means your other ones can just side in, or potentially ping 1s or ping 2s, and like this just makes this end board better.
I mean, it makes the play cuter. I don't know if it actually like increases the floor that much.
I think it does. Definitely does increase the floor. I mean, I played this card in 7 Deadly Sins. Like this profile is not to be trifled with.
If
Because
you had
you
Escanor.
get to see what. Yeah, but you get to. This is the same thing. Like it's not pinging 1 X times, but you're getting the extra soul of damage on your burn 3 if you get the direct attack. So this sets up one of your 3 lanes, and it lets you confirm your 3 triggers, so you can determine what order you need to attack in order to get the most optimal damage.
Yeah, like information's good. Don't hold me to that. Like this Iris would see play just because Shauna's a thing. So like the getting to look at the other 3 cards and rearranging them how you want is still really good. But I'm just saying it's like Hololive has so many other things you could play alongside this that I'm not sure that like the check 3 rearrange matters more than like stock swap or like playing the Botan and doing a shuffle 2 back or shuffle 3 back on play or like whatever else or playing the Fauna we saw earlier to like stock swap Fumio your opponent instead because like
Dude,
while
just-
JB has
Yeah.
all of these ID girls in red and blue. The summer booster actually has like Zeta, for example, in green. So you can like actually afford to do the fauna, slide the fauna card in here for the stock
Yeah.
swap Fumio.
Yeah.
And you just kind of ignore blue because you need yellow for the stock swap Matsuri.
Does anybody have any more thoughts on this card?
Nope.
It's weird, but
Okay.
I don't hate it.
I want to go back to another card. Can we go back to slide 19 really quick?
Oh fuck! Oh, we going all the way back.
To the Kiara.
Yeah. All right. So this Kiara, right? It's Mashiro. We already talked about that, right?
Yep.
Are there any spicy cards in red that we can summon off this that would potentially make this even crazier?
I mean,
And
probably a lot of them actually, but yes.
I mean, the
ASCII.
doesn't get its markers when it's played from her, right? Because you're playing it from waiting room, not from hand.
yeah, the SQ wouldn't get markers.
Okay, so not that.
So you know what you can summon as printed right now? You can summon Zeta for another on attack burn 1.
Oh yeah, you can.
Wait. This new one, right?
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
top check.
Yeah, the one that is currently because like the whole point was like, oh, Kiara's fair because you have to pay for her burn 1, and then they were just like, actually, but I
Yeah.
also printed an on attack burn 1 as well.
Yeah, if you were playing Kiara, and you're playing shot triggers, you'd probably want more soul triggers in your deck so you could like.
Oh my
you know,
god.
cancel damage. You know what other
Stand
card
by
has soul
shot.
triggers? It's this other Zeta that has Twin Drive.
Is this other Zeta? That's Twin
I don't
Drive.
know that you would summon this, but like it is incidentally another Zeta with a pretty cool effect that you could get. I don't know, maybe. It's a shame that the side attack thing is only on play from hand, but like, damn, if it was anywhere, holy moly.
Oh, yeah, then it would cost so much. Then it would
Yeah.
it would be another like 1,000, 2,000 power to merit off it.
Yeah.
No,
It really is
it
just
actually
this-
isn't. The Zombieland card procs from on play or waiting room.
Yeah, he did not specify specifically changing it to that. He said
From anywhere.
yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what
but
he said.
all we need to do
Literally.
is just say from waiting room, and it works with Kiara, so whatever.
And it also would work with Zeta herself because she's on a standby.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yep.
tempting. Oh.
Although you wouldn't get to attack with it that turn anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, maybe don't.
Well, I mean, the Zeta needs to
God.
have some rework anyway, right?
You gave like Zeta like 3 or 4 S tier cards.
Hollow
To be fair, Hololive does that with Rene already.
Yeah,
So.
Hollow
Oh, yeah, I
Hollow ID has been suffering for a minute outside of Rene, so part of my mission here
for-
was give ID
for
cards.
Busu and Yofi.
Yeah, and also they friggin' I have to appreciate that Bushiroad at least saw my ass a little bit, because when they were doing Ambassador, you know who they picked for their level 3 combo?
Muna.
Oh, no.
And you know who I went and decided to make a level 3 combo we'll see next time?
Muna.
Because we had the same brain cell. Of the group, she
Wow.
would be the finisher.
She's like the only one like. Risu has that weird like clock kick or resource generate combo.
Yep.
But I never wanted to play that, and then Ollie's like technically not a finisher. She kind of is with the Hachima, but not quite.
Yeah.
So Muna is basically ID's like first actual finisher, which is cool.
Basically.
And then with this set, you can actually play a Kiara like dual combo deck. She doesn't have enough cards, I don't think, to actually make a waifu, but you can play dual combo.
Yeah. Because I only printed a combo here. I think even with Ambassador and Swimsuit and the other stuff, she's still short a card or two, probably. Even with like the other concessions you can make. And I don't think the deck would be terribly like playable.
I mean, both combos are decent. Like this Kiara combo is like really good. The shot one you've printed here.
Yeah, but
the other one is like it has deck speed, which is like fine, and she's got like a 3500 drop search, so that's like fine. After that, I don't even remember what other she's got that weird accelerate card that you probably wouldn't run because I don't think Kiara herself has any accelerate cards.
she has an accelerate card in Swimsuit, but yeah.
Oh, the freaking Ruka backup.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because my God.
I always thought that card was cool.
I'm just gonna... Can we talk about the fact that Bushiroad stole from my Arknights plan because they printed Ruka backup and the Bang Dream 2500 that accelerates you to at level 0 to plus you? They printed both those cards in Hololive after I did it in Arknights years before them. I don't know. That's a very random Bushiroad you're copying to me, because they copied 2 cards, and they put them in a set that I play. And I would absolutely play the hell out of that.
I mean, they came up with the effect first.
I mean, they came up with the game first, so, I just think it's funny that somewhere in their brain they decided that, yes, that we should put this in the set with the any kind of accelerate that already exists.
Okay.
And they chose Hololive of all things. Like, what?
We've been talking for a while, so do you want to do the outro, brother?
Yeah, so that was red. Had a lot to talk about. Next time, we'll talk about blue.
It was fun.
Yeah. Next time we'll talk about blue. There will be more things to talk about in blue. Some of them related to things we've already talked about. Thanks for watching.
Can't wait.
Wow.